That warm, fuzzy feeling of total food satisfaction, like finishing the last bite of a Gourmet King's Barbecue Steakhouse Angus.
No.
Correct. Burger King. That's food fulfillment.
I need to get snacks. I need to get drinks. Should have done this beforehand. I need to get treats. Gotta find a BP. Gotta find a BP. Oh, my mates, they won't like me. Gotta find a... Oh, there it is.
BP is here for all your big game essentials. Plus, BP Me Rewards members can earn points to put towards great saves.
Adam in the car 1, hungry mates 0.
BP, here for all of life's journeys. BP Me Rewards card or app required. For full T's and C's, visit bpmerewards.co.uk.
This tournament, prepare for greatness with William Hill. Get ready for last-minute winners, legendary goals, and straight red cards. Oh, what was he thinking? Win 25% more on every single game this tournament with Bet Builder Extra, online or in the app. Only from William Hill. Available day before match to kick-off. Bet Builders with 3+ selections at 3-1 or more. Pre-match singles, match stake £20. Full T's and C's apply. 18+. BeGambleAware.org.
I tell you what, Jeff, it's been some journey, but here they are, just moments away from the whistle.
Absolutely. There's been twists, there's been turns, not to mention that parking of the bus. But as the clock runs down, I think they're going to make it.
It goes to show that you can really handle the pressure when your tyres are performing.
I'm home. Has the game started yet?
Top performance.
Driving home for the match? Keep your tyres in peak condition. Book today at quickfit.com or your local centre. Quickfit. Drive away happy every time.
When Andre sold his car on finance with Motorway, he got more money. Ooh!
What are you doing there?
He then put that extra money into tickets to follow his team around the country.
Come on, lads!
Selling on Motorway was completely stress-free, which is more than I can say about being a supporter of... Sell your car the more money way, where 84% of sellers sold for more. Motorway. Validated against 2 independent sources. Visit motorway.co.uk/claims.
Euro Game Day Live on TalkSport 2 with Carling, the UK's #1 lager. 18+, always drink responsibly.
TalkSport 2.
Der Fußball from Deutschland.
You can't get closer than that.
Licensed broadcaster of UEFA Euro 2024 Germany.
Euro Game Day Live
on TalkSport 2.
Yeah!
Sabosla in the middle. Shaloi, is it hungry to win it here? They do! It's been turned in, and Scotland are heading home. Scotland are out of Euro 2024 on a night where dreams were supposed to be made and history was meant to be written. This is Scotland's worst nightmare.
I think Steve Clarke's probably taken us as far as he can take us.
For him to turn round and say, I'm not going to say too much because I like my money. If I was a Tartan Army fan paying thousands going out there and following those Muppets, I would have something to say, and hopefully his resignation's going in now.
Well, Scotland have gone home, and at least another one will be sent packing tonight. Could it possibly be Italy, the European champions? We shall see. The 2 final games in Group B take place this evening. There's one automatic place up for grabs and potentially a third-place qualification on offer as well. It's Italy against Croatia in Leipzig on TalkSport with Nigel Adderley and former England striker Dean Ashton. On TalkSport 2, it's group winners Spain against Albania in Dusseldorf with former England captain Stuart Pearce alongside Jim Proudfoot.
Thank you, Adrian. Well, the established big hitters are staking their claims to glory with 3-time European champion Spain, the first country to make it through to the round of 16. But behind them, the jockeying for position intensifies, and Albania's dreams of a first ever appearance in the knockout stages of a major tournament rest on them arding defeat. A draw here in Dusseldorf would leave them hoping for the best, but if they can pull off one of the biggest wins in their history, they'll be through, and Italian hearts might be fluttering.
The ball in left footed, and he does here, and it's headed in by Lacci, and Albania have the lead.
I think we've seen enough from Albania to suggest that they will give Spain a decent game here.
Morata one-on-one with the goalkeeper, and Alvaro Morata with a captain's goal slots Spain into the lead.
You'd have to say that's probably the best 30 minutes of football that we've seen in the tournament in terms of quality.
Spain booked their place as winners in the group of death in the last 16, but Spain all of a sudden are putting themselves in the shop window as potential winners of Euro 2024.
Well, Spain's position on top of Group B is assured. That's given them licence to make 10 changes tonight. Aymeric Laporte, the only man to keep his place. He plays because of an injury to Nacho. Jose Perez also injured. Rodri suspended. 8 of the Albanian side were born outside Albania itself, including right-back Ivan Baliu, who plays against the nation of his birth. We'll run through the two teams for you very shortly, but let's look ahead now to the action with Carly.
Big match preview on Talk Sport 2 with Burger King. Bring home the ultimate food satisfaction. Get your favourites delivered now.
And the former England captain Stuart Pearce is alongside me. Stuart, Spain, the side that have caught your eye most in the tournament so far?
Yeah, it would be fair to say they are. They've made very light work of this very, very difficult group that they've been picked in. I think they've changed a lot of mentality in regard to favouritism. They were looked at as an outsider, Jim. I don't think they are anymore.
Well, we were in Dortmund for Albania's opening game against Italy when they scored after just 18 seconds. What did you make of them?
The Albanians, I thought they're on the front foot, very mobile, decent on the counter-attack, always in the game. The Italians never put them to bed, and I thought the Italians played extremely well first half. Longer the game went on, the more the Albanians come back into the game, and with their fan base, which is almost a home game for them in this stadium as we stand at the moment, they'll be roared on for 90 minutes.
How did they approach this tonight, bearing in mind that a draw might be good enough, but the bottom line is they're going to have to win, really?
I'm not sure you're going into this game thinking a draw and hoping a draw will get you through. For me, they've got to try and win the game. I'll be interested to see the mentality of the Spanish. The Spanish, if they play to their full extent, I think the Spaniards will win the game. As we've often seen with these type of occasions, when one team has got 6 points and qualified, they can lose a little bit of sharpness.
Well, that was a look ahead to the action in association with Burger King.
Big match preview on Talk Sport 2 with Burger King. Bring home the ultimate food satisfaction. Get your favourites delivered now.
And the two flags are just being laid out in front of the tunnel. The Albanian flag, red with the black symbol on the front. The Spanish flag of red and yellow with the crest in the wider yellow band visible to the right-hand side. And the increasingly familiar triangular flags are extended in front of each goal as well. The giant mosaic of the trophy stands just above the centre circle, and the two sets of players will be out very shortly. Let's remind you of the two teams. Spain, David Raya in goal, Navas, Vivian, Laporte and Grimaldo, Zubimendi and Marino, Oyarzabal, Dani Olmo and Ferran Torres, with Joselu, the man leading the line, making his debut in a major tournament at the age of 34. For Albania, Strakosha in goal, Baliu, Ayeti, Jimshiti and Mitai, Ramadani and Aslani, Asani, Laci and Bayrami, who scored that very early goal against the Italians, and Manai is the man that leads the line. Two sets of players come out. Spain in their change kit tonight of pastel yellow, and looking resplendent in their tracksuit tops as they come out. Albania in their red shirts and black shorts. And both sets of players flanking the Swedish official Glenn Nyberg stand just across to face this near side. Before the game starts, we stand for the national anthems. Firstly, that of Spain. Spanish national anthem, La Marcha Granadera. And now the Albanian national anthem, the hymn to the flag. And whilst that Albanian national anthem was being sung, away to our right-hand side, relatively small tifo, I suppose. It covered about the front 20 rows of the Albanian support was unveiled. A big cartoon picture of an Albanian footballer with his back to goal, and it just said "stronger together." A reminder of the maths and who needs what. Spain have won the group. Italy, Croatia and Albania can take any of the positions behind them. For Albania to finish second, they need a win here, and they need Croatia to beat Italy live over on TalkSport. That's providing the Croatians don't win by 2 goals more than Albania. Draw for the Albanians could be enough for them to go through as one of the best third-place teams, but they would need the Croatians to fail to beat the Italians. They'd also need 3 other results to go their way over the next couple of nights. That sounds like a tall order. It could all happen. None of the results they need are remotely inconceivable. But a Spain win tonight and Albania are definitely out. We will, of course, keep you fully briefed with what's happening in Leipzig in the other game. You got the TalkSport app. You can swipe between the 2 matches to catch all the action as it happens. Mercaspiel Arena, a sea of red behind the goal to our left. The hotbed of Spanish support, but they're really outnumbered tonight. The vast majority of the 45,000 or so here behind the Albanians as they try to upset the odds. Pyro away to our right-hand side. Smoke rising towards the roof of the stadium, billowing up. It is the warmest night of the tournament so far. Clear blue skies above us here on the banks of the Rhine. It's certainly a game that the players are glad is kicking off at 9 p.m. local time rather than in the middle of the afternoon. Spanish players just in a huddle. Away to our right-hand side, break away from that now. It is going to be Albania that will get us off and running, kicking from left to right in their red shirts and black shorts, and Spain in their change kit of pastel yellow. Albania have only ever beaten top 10 opposition 3 times. Victory tonight would be the most famous win in their history. It's 9 years since they last avoided defeat against one of the game's big hitters, but their hopes of reaching the knockout stages for the first time depend on them holding off the much-changed Spaniards here in Dusseldorf tonight. Here's going to be Chazim Laci, who will get us underway with the first kick of the night. Albanians, as I say, kicking from left to right in the first half here in Dusseldorf in the northwest of Germany tonight. We're off and running. And a long ball pumped forward straight away. Albania have started both of the games they've played so far by getting on the front foot from the very off. And a Spanish player goes down over on the far touchline, claiming Jesus Navas that he should have a free kick, but it is going to be a throw to restart play. Delighted to say. Alongside me, as always, the former England captain Stuart Pearce. Stu, what are you expecting from tonight?
Well, I think a lot of that depends on the Spaniards, really. If they're fully at it, the momentum they've got in the squad at the moment could be a tough night for Albania. But the longer the Albanians stay in the game, the more buoyed up their fans are going to be, the team are going to be. And as we can see now, they're on a heavy press at the moment and looking to turn it over from the Spaniards.
It is the first time that this Spanish backline have ever played together. And I think Albania are hoping to ask a few early questions in that regard. David Raya was put under pressure. He and Thomas Strakosha at the other end, two Brentford teammates in the 22-23 season. Strakosha's got the ball at his feet now, and he pumps it forward, right-footed. Jesus Navas with an awkward touch. The break for Laci towards the edge of the penalty area. Shuffled wide out towards Bayrami. Albania have made a really good start here. Bayrami on the left-hand side of the penalty area. Right-footed ball inside the box. Trying to get the run from Asani attacking the edge of the penalty area. It was clear from him. Then Spain get it forward towards Joselu. But the outball for the Spanish, the former Stoke and Newcastle man, is well inside his own half. And he eventually, having controlled it, plays it back towards his own corner flag. Tannoy announcement, you can hear incidentally, is just a request to the Albanian supporters to stop using flares and pyrotechnics. Spanish will bring it forward, yet to really get a meaningful touch of the ball in Albanian territory. That is still 0-0.
Yeah, they've been put on the back foot from the offset by the Albanians with their high tempo and high press. And when the ball come in there, Grimaldo, left back for Spain, done fantastically well defending the far post.
Yeah, Grimaldo, who plays his club football here in Germany, not too far from here, just down the road in Bayer Leverkusen. He only made his debut back in November, but an integral part of the Leverkusen side that swept all before them domestically and nearly all before them on the continental stage as well over the course of this season. Here the Spanish will bring it forward again with Laporte. One player who kept his place in the much-changed side. Down towards Grimaldo. Left-footed out swinging delivery from him. Headed away by Mitai towards the edge of the penalty area. Then a touch comes from Zubimendi. And it's cleared by the Albanian midfielder Aslani. And he's done well to flick it into the nearest Spaniard and out of play for a throw that will be taken over on the far touchline. Live over on TalkSport right now. It's also 0-0. This one, 0-0 with 3 minutes gone. Albania against Spain here on TalkSport 2.
Yeah, I think the situation we're faced, Jim, with third-place teams going through leaves everything open to the last game. And as we stand at the moment, any team in this group can progress into the next stage.
Yeah, Spain have won the group, but the other 3 teams could all finish second, third, or fourth. The bottom line is, on a might of a few mathematical subtleties, Albania know that they're out if they lose, and Croatia know that they're out if they lose against Italy over on TalkSport. And both games, as I mentioned, are currently 0-0. All played forward towards the edge of the Albanian penalty area again. They can recycle it well. Laci making a run through the middle of the penalty area. There was no cross forthcoming. Bayrami will turn away and feed Mitai. Mitai inside the box for Chazim Laci again. Out towards the left-hand touchline. Spain backing off and forced to concede a corner. Jesus Navas blocking the cross coming in from Aslani. And Albania looking for a concrete reward for this really good start.
Yeah, I'm just comparing this game to the one we stood and watched last night, the Scotland-Hungary game. Both teams had to win that game yesterday, but you couldn't tell in their demeanour. In this game, even so early on in the game, first 5 minutes, Albania's intent to get on the front foot, high tempo, high press, is there for all to see.
I think there is a sense that Albania tend to go off in games the longer they go on. So they have sped out of the traps here. In towards the near post, the corner, not the best. Laci trying to flick it on. It's come off the top of his head, bounces back out towards the corner taker. Slani turns it back forward again. Now, the Laci would have been offside. And the ball just runs innocuously through for a goal kick that's going to be taken by the Spanish goalkeeper, David Raya. Quick word about Jesus Navas. 38 years old, tonight playing the 926th game of his career for club and country. Recall for the National League, for the Nations League, I beg your pardon, last season after 4 years out of the picture. Last tournament appearance before tonight was in the semi-finals of Euro 2012. He's had a dozen years without playing at a major tournament, but back involved tonight, the former Manchester City man.
Yeah, he's been a super pro over his career. I was tipped off by Terry Gibson, I think, who was scouting in Spain at the time. When I was Manchester City manager, we couldn't secure his move to Manchester City. Subsequently come to Manchester City after I'd left, but we were looking at him as an out-and-out right winger then. He's played, I don't know how many games as a right back, Jim, you know, or in that sort of area, a more deep-lying role.
Yeah, moved back a few years ago, and a major part of the Sevilla side that had success in Europe. Spain bring it forward again towards the edge of the penalty area here, but it's knocked away very effectively by Jimshiti, the dark-haired centre-half at the heart of the Albanian defence, and the ball is rolled back to him now via Strakosha, and he will again look forward, trying to squeeze the ball out towards Barami. It was a misdirected pass, but Danny Olmo just got a foot on it and steered it out of play. In fact, he didn't get a touch. I thought that he just deflected that on its way out, and it was going to be an Albania throw, but it was a Spain put in, and they will bring it forward quickly with Emeric Laporte. Mike Navas, a former Manchester City defender. Roll forward to the one-time Newcastle midfielder Mikel Merino. Merino checking on the left-hand touchline to his club teammate Zubamendi. Zubamendi square through the centre circle to Vivian, who's making his competitive international debut tonight. It's a relatively inexperienced Spanish side tonight, and Vivian certainly one of the young ones. Left-footed ball from Laporte out towards the far touchline. Cleared. Barami chasing after it for Albania. Vivian's got it again, and he will just control it and go back for David Raya. Raya is winning his 6th cap tonight for Spain. 4 from the back, 0-0 with 7.5 minutes gone here in Dusseldorf. Still 0-0 in Leipzig as well between Croatia and Italy. Ball inside the penalty area. Ayeti, the shaven-headed centre-half for Albania, gets it away. Picked up though on the left-hand touchline by Grimaldo. Grimaldo just trying to turn a little reverse ball down the left-hand side of the penalty area. It's very well defended by the retreating Chazim Lachi, who lets the ball run out of play. Threatened that he was going to have to clear it, and then just with the deliberate miskick, lets the ball go over the line and out for a goal kick that the Albanians will take. And they've laid a very solid platform in this game so far, Stuart Pearce.
Yeah, they certainly have. Similar in that start that we saw against the Italians in the earlier group match, but I think they want to keep the tempo high. The Spaniards will want to take the sting out of them with some possession play, but saying that, the Spaniards are quite happy when they do get it wide. They'll put it in the box and cause problems with their crossing.
You're listening to Euro Game Day live on TalkSport 2. It's presented by Carling, the UK's #1 lager, 18 plus. Please drink responsibly. And a reminder that tomorrow night we'll also have a choice of listening for you. This time tomorrow we'll be in Cologne for England against Slovenia, and Denmark-Serbia, the other game of the group, will be live on TalkSport 2. Tell you what else we've got coming up for you tomorrow as this half progresses. The ball laid off by the left-sided midfielder Asani, out towards the Albanian touchline for the fullback Mitai. Quick exchange of passes with Barami in his bright yellow boots. Now back for Jimshiti again. He'll turn it, the Albanian number 6, play to his left, squeeze forward for the intended run of Manai, but it was overhit for him and goes through for David Raya. It's the first time they try to get the ball in between the two centre-halves for a run from Manai.
Yeah, Manai started his run, thought he'd be offside, checked his run, and the ball was played perfectly for the initial run. At that stage he'd put the brakes on, and ball just went through to Raya.
What a spell in Spain. Did Manai, who's playing his club football in Turkey now with Sivasspor. He got 22 goals this season, which might come as a surprise to Watford fans, who only saw him score once in his time with the Hornets. Jesus Navas. Over on the Spanish right-hand side, played back into a central area again for Vivian. Vivian to Laporte. Laporte getting it onto his left foot, down to the left-hand touchline for Oyarzabal. Albania just penned back inside their own final third for a moment, but a through ball was easily intercepted by Asani, and he's going to be able to play it out to the left-hand touchline to get Aslani. making his way forward. One of the most highly regarded of the players in this Albanian team. Aslani, who's on the books of Inter Milan, made more than 30 appearances for him this season, so much more than merely a peripheral squad member. Down towards Baliu on a big night for him, the Spanish-born right back who is on the books of Rayo Vallecano. And from one side of the Albania back line, the right over to the left. Now played forward towards Manai, but his layoff was intercepted easily by Dani Olmo, who read it ahead of Ramadani. Spain will bring it forward towards the edge of the Albanian penalty area. Mitai mistiming his challenge. Right-footed ball swung inside the box, and the header is saved well by Strakosha. Marino it was that powered it into the ground, and Strakosha dived to his right-hand side, got his body behind it and was able to get it away, and it goes out of play for a Spanish throw. It's the one clear opportunity that we've seen through the opening 10 minutes or so here. Now a cross comes in, Hoslu attacking that, and his header flies a fraction over the bar. Good start for Albania, but that's an excellent 90 seconds for Spain.
Well, it's interesting. This tiki-taka Spanish side are certainly free-flowing and happy to put the ball in the box. Delivered a couple of wonderful crosses, I've got to say. And Marino with the first one. Goalkeeper done very well getting down to his right-hand side.
Well, I've sat beside you on hundreds of occasions watching games. I think the one prediction you've ever made which most impressed me was after a 6-0 Spanish win in the first game of the last World Cup. 6-1 win, and you said that there's no chance that they can win the World Cup with the football they're playing. You said it was just possession for possession's sake, and of course you were proved absolutely correct that they've changed so much over the last 18 months, to the extent that the game against Croatia early in this group, they only have 47% of the ball, which is the lowest in any competitive international they played in 16 years. They'll work it forward again here and score. Ferran Torres coming in off the right flank, took it on his left foot and slid it across the face of Strakosha in off the far post. Albania with an excellent start in this game, but it's Spain with their potency up front that take the lead. Ferran Torres, 1-0.
Well, if there was any doubt at all whether this Spanish second string were going to turn up and really have a go at this game, some of their clinical play, couple of crosses in the box, just softened the Albanians up, and what a wonderful through pass that was. This will be interesting whether he's onside or not. It's very, very close, but he cut in from the right-hand side, just opened his body up and slid it into the far corner. Wonderful finish from a very, very direct Spanish side.
Well, he scored in the last meeting between the two nations, Ferran Torres, and he now nets his 20th international goal in this one. And Albania, who started the night with so much work to do, have seen the size of their task intensify. It was close to being offside, but he was on. The goal stands, and Albania, cheered on by about 39,000 here in Dusseldorf, have seen their contingent of the crowd broadly silenced. It's the Spanish fans you can hear now, with Ferran Torres with the breakthrough.
Yeah, just going back to your point earlier before the goal, Jim, we watched the Spaniards in that first game of the World Cup. They won 6, and I looked at them and I thought, even though you've scored 6 goals, I don't see a World Cup winners here. You're a mile off it. And lo and behold, they're out the tournament very, very quickly after the group stages, I think, from memory. And they have had a major overhaul about the way they play. And just looking at this team, playing through the thirds, very clinical, into wide areas, ball is in the box, people attacking it. It's very good on the eye.
Yeah, Luis de la Fuente has done a marvellous job. He's already won the Nations League with Spain. It's only his 17th game in charge in this spell. He's only lost 2 of them. Spain on the front foot again now, but have given a free kick away for a foul on Ramadani in the heart of the Albanian midfield. 1-0 to Spain, 0-0 Croatia against Italy in the other game in this group, which is live for you right now over on Talk Sport. So the group as it stands, Spain 9, Italy 4, Croatia 2, Albania 1. The Albanians would be going out. Croatia would be all but out, you would imagine. 2 points with a poor goal difference. They also need more really than a 0-0 draw tonight, but that's what they've got against Italy right now. Here's Marino on the left-hand side to find Grimaldo. Grimaldo approaching the edge of the penalty area, checks back and plays back in towards Mikel Merino again. Zubimendi is in there. His pass back for Merino, not the best. It took a deflection, but one time Newcastle man was able to rescue it anyway. One back then by Asani for Albania, who stops, having had his shirt pulled. And the Swedish referee agrees with him that there was an infringement, so play is pulled back for a free kick that the Albanians will take on halfway. 2 games they've played so far, Stu. They've scored quite an early goal in both of them. They have only taken 1 point from 2 winning positions, and now they've got to try and come from behind in this one.
Yeah, different mentality totally, and Spain obviously come out with showing intent, having wrestled momentum back from the Albanians' early pressing, but you wouldn't rule them out at the moment. There's a lot of football to be played in this game.
Asani into the feet of Larchi inside the penalty area. Ballieu back for Larchi, whose deflected cross will be easily cleared, and a chance for Oyafabel, who's come on as the central striker in both of the games so far, but playing in a wider position tonight. Predominantly out on the left, and he lays it back through the midfield. Ferran Torres, who's come off the bench in both of the previous games as a right winger, is fulfilling that role. He's the man whose goal is the difference between the two sides at the moment here on TalkSport 2. He's just tried to feather a little ball into the path of the third man run from midfield. Just too much on it for Navas, and it's gone out of play for a goal kick that'll be taken by Strakosha here in Dusseldorf on a gorgeous summer's night. 1-0 to Spain in the early stages. Ayeti working the ball through the midfield, and a little bit of space for the retreating Manai, who comes back in and drops it off at the feet of Aslani. From him out to the left-hand touchline for Mitai. Ramadani now, wearing 20, still inside his own half, working it down to this near touchline for Ivan Ballieu. Ayeti, the bearded centre-half, back for his goalkeeper against Strakosha. And he takes a touch to try and deceive Oyafabel. And he slows it down almost to a standstill inside his own penalty area before driving it forward. Manai always likely to be beaten by the physical presence of Danny Vivian. Now Zubimendi can bring it forward through the midfield for Spain in their change kit tonight of pastel yellow. Dani Olmo out towards the right-hand touchline. Ferran Torres controlling it, working it back inside for Olmo again. He's on the edge of the centre circle, finding Laporte. Laporte controlling the ball with the studs of his left boot, keeping his place tonight in the side because they've got an absence of centre-halves really, with Nacho currently out through injury. I think if Nacho had been available, he would have started tonight, and it would have been 11 changes made by De La Fuente. Then you're making just the one, finding themselves a goal down, but they've got a throw here in the right-back position, level with the edge of their own penalty area. Still Croatia 0, Italy 0, and here in Dusseldorf with 19 minutes on the clock, it's Albania 0, Spain 1. Here's Stuart Pearce.
Yeah, the Spaniards just taken some of the sting out of Albania at the moment, and when Albania have had the opportunity to sort of turn it over and counter-attack, they've not really gone with numbers at this moment in time.
Torres. There's a lot of Jesus Navas there. It's a ball that was just siphoned out towards the touchline, and Navas had to scamper after it. He was able to get there. He's played it back for Vivian, the Athletic Bilbao centre-half, to Laporte. Laporte, French-born, but qualified for Spain. Now from him to the left-hand side for Oyafabel. Now on the edge of the centre circle, Vivian's got it again. Plenty of time for him just to pick the pass. A real intense press in the very early stages from Albania, but they have neglected that over the last 10-15 minutes or so. Just allowing Spain much more of a foothold in the game. Well, they had a good 90-second, 2-minute spell immediately prior to Ferran Torres' excellent finish for the goal after a sublime Dani Olmo pass. Laporte on halfway. Work forward here for Zubimendi. Zubimendi to Marino. Back for Laporte. Laporte to his right-hand side for Vivian. Spain difficult prospect to try and get possession off when they're in this kind of mood. Yeti getting it away, and Vivian will pick it up at the back again for Spain, who are now camped in Albanian territory. It was the other way around in the first 6-7 minutes of the game. Mitai, the left back for Albania. Now Ramadani bringing it forward towards halfway. Laporte stepping up for the defensive line, got the better of Manai. Marino's in with a strong challenge, which has left an Albanian player on the deck. Ramadani still rolling around. Spain perfectly entitled to carry on, but a shot that is fired in from Dani Olmo from distance goes some way wide. 1-0, Albania with work to do. Remember, if they lose this game, they are out. If they draw, they may well be out as well. Italy will finish second in the group unless they lose. If they do finish second in the group, they get Switzerland in Berlin on Saturday. Whoever finishes third in this group will play against the winners of either Group E or Group F. So that could well be Portugal. And if you win this group, you play against one of the teams that finishes third. That'll be a game on Sunday in Cologne, and that could well be the winners of Group E, which may well, the team that finished third in Group E, I beg your pardon, which may well be Slovakia or Ukraine. What a football to be played before this weekend. You'll hear every kick of every game live on TalkSport and TalkSport 2. Spain in possession again with Dani Olmo, winning it back inside the centre circle, and now in a position to drive forward to his left-hand side. Grimaldo, time for him to measure the cross. He's got to wander the left foot. It's cleared. Dani Olmo winning it back to Grimaldo, now down towards Marino, stood up for Joselu but headed away by Jimshiti. Cleared by the Albanian midfield through towards Manai, who was fouled. It was a theatrical dive right in front of the referee. Once the contact had been made, but before the free kick can be taken, the referee's going to have to go out and see what the problem is for Aslani, who's gone down over towards the left-hand side. We're midway through the first half, and Spain good value for the 1-0 lead, Stu.
Yeah, they certainly are. The longer this game's going on, I think Spain are in the process of breaking the Albanian hearts at present. One or two of the Albanians gone to ground rather cheaply and looking for a bit of charity off the referee.
You're listening to Euro Game Day Live on TalkSport 2, presented by Burger King. Bring home the ultimate food satisfaction. Get your favourites delivered now. Albania taking the free kick. Aslani's in a position to continue. Dani playing it forward. Left-hand side, Barami, who got Albania off to such an extraordinary start in this tournament with that very early goal against the Italians. He's got it now down towards the byline, and he's just trying to shuffle his way inside the box, taking on Vivian. He couldn't beat him. Vivian will clear it. Joselu flicks it on towards halfway, but Albania will come again.
Yeah, good defended by Vivian there. Probably nailed his player right to the byline, and there was nowhere to go. He only had one direction to go. Stood on his feet, took it off him rather comfortably.
Back it goes from Asani. Play down the right-hand touchline again, controlled neatly on the thigh by Laci, and he's won a throw. Silvinho, who is in charge of Albania incidentally, the Brazilian took over in March of last year. He's got a winning record. He's also got Pablo Zabaleta and Doriva amongst his coaching staff, so familiar faces all round. Ball hoisted forward towards the edge of the penalty area by the Albanians, cleared easily. Oyafable down the left-hand touchline for Dani Olmo, who's been pretty heavily involved all over the place at the moment. He's won a free kick here, about 5 yards inside his own half. It's a low 5 of recognition from his coach Luis de la Fuente. And Spain continue to control this very ably. 1-0 they lead. Albania, bearing in mind they need to win. You can't clearly show your hand too early against a Spanish side like this, even a much changed Spanish team. But what do Albania need to do to try and get themselves back into this game?
Well, I think on occasion when they have turned the ball over, there's almost a reluctance at the moment to get big numbers forward. When they have attacked, they've probably gone with 4 or 5 players, and there's always been 5 behind the ball. I think at some stage they're going to have to free up an extra body or two to get forward very quickly.
Spain have got a corner. It's their first of the night, and Grimaldo is going to take it. Ferran Ferran Torres, the goal scorer, is offering himself for the short one. No one was deceived by that. It's inside the penalty area, flicked on dangerously. Hosselu coming out for it. Strakosha punched it away, just using the top of his hand really rather than the fist. But he got some good distance on it. Spain are able to recycle possession, but back on halfway. And Navas will play the ball via the centre halves down to the left-hand side for Zubamendi. Now he can bring it forward. Side-footed between the lines easily for Dani Olmos, having a major impact here. Chipped over the top. Clears the right-back Balliu. Down on the left flank for Ferran Torres. Torres giving an instruction to Zubamendi to work the ball quickly with Manai approaching. Went back towards Vivian. Now towards Ferran Torres again. A beautiful right-footed in-swinging delivery. Too close in the end of Strakosha. Comfortably claimed by the Brentford goalkeeper, and Spain continue to lead it 1-0 here on TalkSport 2.
Yeah, from memory from the Italian game, the Albanians didn't particularly deal well with crosses in the box from set plays. Certainly I remember the first Italian goal, very loose with their marking, and to be quite honest with you, they've not got first contact in a lot that's come in the box already.
Yeah, Yeti and Jim Shitty, the two centre-halves, one who plays in Romania, the other, the Swiss-born left-footed defender, Jim Shitty, who plays his club football for Atalanta. He was part of the side that won the Europa League this season. That extraordinary Ademola Lookman hat-trick got them over the line against Bayer Leverkusen, so Jim Shitty up against Grimaldo again here tonight, as he was that day. Throw to the Albanians will be taken right in front of the Spanish technical area. 0-0 in the Croatia-Italy game, though the Italians have just forced a really good save from Livakovic. That one remains 0-0. It's live view right now over on TalkSport. This one 1-0 to Spain. And Albania got it with Jim Shitty, but it just took an awkward little bounce in front of him, so as he tried to clear it, just hooked high up in the air rather than getting any significant distance on it. Well won back though by the left back Mitai. He's turned it inside his own penalty area. Didn't fancy it on his right foot, so had to turn back out again on his left, but he played it off Oyarzábal and out for a throw that'll be taken by the Albanians in their left back position.
Yeah, Mitai done very well seeing the run out, but when he was facing his own goal, a simple ball back to the goalkeeper would have been suffice. Instead he's got himself a throw-in his own corner flag.
Albania able to flick the ball on, and Bayrami is able to get on the end of the flick on. Vivian tracks him, played forward through the midfield for Larchi. Zubamendi ducked his head in bravely, knowing that Larchi was going to be raising his right boot towards the ball. Zubamendi won it. Albania get it back, but lost a little bit of territory in the process. Asani is put under good pressure by Grimaldo. Lays it back for a Yeti. In through the midfield for Ramadani. And now back for Strakosha again. Albania coming into this on the back of that 2-1 defeat to Italy and a 2-2 draw with Croatia, where Jasulu had scored an own goal in that game, equalised in the 4th minute of stoppage time. They were going out if they hadn't scored that goal. So he threw them a lifeline, but it's one at the moment they're unable to take, because the scores as they are tonight in Group B, the Albanians will be finishing bottom of the group and will be eliminated. Need a draw as a bare minimum. They really need to win this game to give themselves a significant chance of progression. Had a good start, but it's Spain that lead. They've been the better side since about the 8-9 minute mark. Got it on the left-hand side of the midfield though. Aslani getting it forward towards Larchi. Bounced off him really, it was poor control. Spain able to get it forward. Hosselu can't hold it up, and the Albanians win it back again. Larchi making a good run towards the edge of the penalty area. Space on the right for Asani. Play to him now by Balliu. Asani left-footed, he's put far too much on that. So curved it inside the penalty area, trying to pick out the run of Manai, who's not the tallest. He's certainly much shorter than the two centre-halves he's up against. Not likely to win much in the air, and nobody's likely to win that, because it was hit about 3 times as hard as it needed to be, and goes out of play for a goal kick that David Raya is going to take. Yeah, Albania just struggling with that final pass at the moment. Some of the build-up play's been okay around the sort of 40-30 metre mark, but when they've been in wide areas, the ball's failed to come in, or alternatively the final pass to free someone up. Well, it played exactly half an hour. Spain leading it with Ferran Torres' goal. Ball chested down here towards Hosselu, but The offside flag is up against Oyafabel. And Albania take the free kick. That other game, incidentally, the Croatia-Italy game, about 20 seconds or so behind this one. Here's live for you over on TalkSport. Scoop 4 by the Albanians. Manai trying to isolate himself against Vivian, much the more inexperienced of the two Spanish centre-halves playing tonight. But Vivian has done very well to deal with him so far. Manai wins a throw, which is taken. He chests it down, tries to spin around the back of Vivian. Can't pull that off. Goes out of play for another throw. It's high across to take it. The Albanian left back bounces inside the penalty area again. Manai trying to spin round Vivian, ends up on his knees just outside the penalty area. Vivian very disparagingly waves him back to his feet, and the Swedish referee Glenn Nibra says no foul.
Yeah, I've got to say, I think on that occasion there was obstruction, at least, to be honest with you. Whether it was in the box or not in the box, I certainly think there was some form of obstruction there from the Spaniard.
A number of bottles are being thrown down inside the penalty area in complaint of that decision, not at Spanish players from the Albanian fans, but just making a very visible point. They didn't like the decision, and the area from the edge of the penalty area inside the box and down by the right-hand corner flag is now scarred by maybe 12-14 bottles down in that area. Spain will be able to bring it forward here. Oyafabel getting towards the byline, getting it onto his left foot, pulling it back inside the box, and side-footed back, knocked away. And Albania have been on the back foot predominantly over the last 25 minutes and continue to be so here. There's good cohesion about this Spanish side, bearing in mind that it is very much the second string, that we won't have played too much together before, although I suppose in the odd 11 against 11 practice match in training, they might have played as a unit. Ball is over on the right-hand side for Navas, curved inside the area. Joselu, the target, headed away from him, brought down by Grimaldo. Didn't sit up nicely for a left-footed volley towards goal. And Oyafabel misdirects a ball that was intended for Laporte and put it straight out for a throw that will be taken on the Albanian right-hand side. Silvino just hoping his side can hang in there to half-time, that there's no further damage. But at the moment there's very little sign of an equalising goal.
No sign of an equaliser at all. It's that final pass, and probably on turnover of possession they need to be a lot more effective. Memory of them as they're a little bit more effective. Maybe that goal, that early goal, has dented the confidence a little bit of the Albanians.
They've had 3 defeats in 2024, beaten by Chile and Sweden and Italy in the first game of the tournament as well. Spain, on the other hand, coming into this on the back of 8 successive wins in competitive internationals, which is some record. Last one 9 in a row back in the period between 2014 and 2016. It was a run that was ended by Croatia in the 2016 Euros. Spain on the front foot again, turning it forward, getting towards the byline, chipping it up inside the box. Strakosha will see it bounce inside the 6-yard box, but he knew there was no chance Oyafabel was going to get there first. And Balliu sweeps up, clears his lines and puts it behind for a corner.
Yeah, these little interactions from the Albanians aren't particularly helpful, you know. Manai received the ball to feet, he's gone to ground, claiming a foul, and decides to stay on the ground until basically the Spaniards get a corner at the other end. Now, when you see the replay of it, there was absolutely nothing in it at all, and that level of honesty won't help their side whatsoever.
Corner taken short by the Spanish, who've had 60% of the possession so far. They've had all 4 shots in the game. Albania yet to muster a single attempt on David Raya's goal. He gets a touch of it now. Spain from the corner worked it steadily backwards. Raya fielding it about 10 yards outside his own penalty area in a very central position. Displays it to his left-hand side for Laporte. And Laporte is able to work it forward towards Grimaldo. Laporte gets it back again. And controlling it, plays it past Laci, down towards Vivian, and Vivian goes out towards the right flank for an opportunity for Jesus Navas to bring it forward. 1-0 Spain leading this one here on TalkSport 2. Inside the centre circle, it's worked forward towards Joselu. Oslo, what a season he had for Real Madrid, his boyhood team. Towards the edge of the penalty area, clipped in by Zubimendi, headed away by the retreating Mitai. He's going to have to chase after it, stop it going out of play for a corner. Big block challenge coming in, but Navas, in winning that, has it. Finds Olmo inside the 6-yard box, tried a shot, it ricocheted loose inside the 6-yard box for a moment, and Lachi was forced to poke it behind for another Spanish corner. You feel a second goal's coming.
Yeah, what I'm enjoying about this Spanish team, Jim, is the fact when that ball's out wide, all the rest of the players, the strikers, the midfield runners, they know the ball's coming in the box, and it's brilliant. There's nothing worse than, you know, people turning down crossing opportunities.
5 in the penalty area for this corner, which Strakosha can beat away with both hands. Dani Olmo then flighting it back in. And he was caught in two minds between finding Oyarzabal at the far post and the top left-hand corner. Split the difference between the pair of them, and it goes out of play for a goal kick. 8.5 to go to half-time. 0-0 in the Croatia-Italy game. Live for you right now over on TalkSport. And Spain still very comfortably leading this one 1-0 here on TalkSport 2.
Yeah, awful goalkeeping there from Strakosha. Ball chipped into him, easy catch, decides to punch it. All of a sudden he's got to field a cross shot at his goal.
Strakosha clearing over halfway. Manai again is on his knees, imploringly looking at the referee with his hands outstretched. The referee, I think, has his number. Lachi wins the throw over on the far touchline. The ball cannoning, as you will have heard, into the effects microphone down by the side of the pitch. Slani will lead the throw for Mitai to take over on the far touchline. Albania have played 55 games in their history against sides who are ranked in the top 10 of the world. They've won only 3 of those 55. The first one coming against the then European champions Greece back in 2004, and then they had 2 in the space of 12 months. They beat Portugal away in a qualifier in 2014, and then France in a friendly the following year. They haven't beaten top 10 opposition in the 9 years since then. They need to tonight. Spain ranked 8th in the FIFA list, more significantly 3rd in the yellow rankings. Raya clearing his lines, smacked it straight into the backside of Laporte. It looped up off his glutes, and Raya came out and caught it. It's the most unorthodox 1-2 we've seen in the European Championship so far.
It certainly is. Fortune favours the brave, as they say, and Raya got rather fortunate on that respect.
That could easily have gone 6 feet to his right-hand side and gone in for an own goal. Oyarzabal bring the ball forward here for the Spanish. On the edge of the penalty area is Grimaldo. Grimaldo hitting it in very deep. They've got a man unmarked at the far post. Well brought down in there, trying to set it up for Joselu. Didn't come off. And now the break might be on. Mitai getting it forward for Bayrami. And he's ventured midway inside Spanish territory. Bayrami coming back inside. 6 players up with him now. And in the end, he just ran straight down a blind alley. And Zubimendi picked his pocket.
Yeah, this is my point earlier. Turnover of possession from a defensive area in their own box, and really they needed to go more aggressively and quicker. By the time they got up there, it had run aground a little bit, couldn't find a pass, and the Spanish defenders and midfielders got back and dealt with the situation.
Ronaldo gets the ball forward. Oyarzabal laying it off for Marino. Now Zubimendi can play it for the Spanish into Albanian territory again. Ronaldo, the left back, right in front of Silvina, the Albanian coach. In his dark suit, he will be boiling hot pitch side in that suit, because it is ferociously warm night. And hotter to come over the next 48 hours, including for England this time tomorrow in Cologne as they take on Slovenia. The build-up starts at 7 from in the stadium ahead of an 8 o'clock kickoff. Of course, we'll be talking England all day for you on the TalkSport network tomorrow, including with Jeff Stelling and Ali McCoist from breakfast as the build-up starts tomorrow morning here on TalkSport with Jeff and Ali from 6 your time. Zubimendi in possession for the Spanish in yellow, forward towards the edge of the area. Ayeti in strongly. Marino Wins it back though on the edge of the box. Chance for Grimaldo to deliver. Takes a touch, fires it in, left-footed towards the far post. Ferran Torres with a header, and he's put it over the bar.
Well, once again, ball in a wide area. Grimaldo pushed it out wide. You know full well exactly what's happening. He's taken a nice touch, steadied himself, floated it into the far post, and the header just over the crossbar. But I do enjoy watching him dipping the ball into the box, and we've watched the Spanish for so long overpass. Now all of a sudden they're so direct, it's an absolute pleasure to watch.
You talked the other night about Safal and the way that he has the ability to deliver those right wing crosses that just fade away at the last moment, and Grimaldo does that down the Spanish left hand side. Torres, knowing that they're coming, just peels out towards the right hand side of the penalty area. Albania defending so narrow that he's going to win most of them in the air because he's unmarked.
Yeah, he certainly is, and as I say, it should be the stock ball of any wide player, whether it be a winger or a fullback, just curling round the ball, fading it away from the goalkeeper and encouraging your forwards to come onto it.
Croatia, Italy still 0-0. This one 1-0 to Spain here in Dusseldorf tonight. A game in Leipzig Live for you right now over on Talk Sport. The referee spotted an infringement. It's a free kick to the Albanians, who've got a terrible record against Spain. Played 8, lost 8, scored 3, conceded 31 before tonight. If Spain do hold on here, it'll be their best 100% record against any single international opponent. Another couple of nations that they've beaten 8 times out of 8. They've never beaten anyone 9 out of 9. Strakosha's got the ball at his feet, and Oyarzabal, knowing it was going there without a great degree of pace, head in to apply the press. And Strakosha was kept honest. He got it away in the nick of time. And as far as Zubimendi in the midfield, 15 yards outside the box. The aerial diagonal brought down by Grimaldo. Grimaldo's left-footed ball in, another delicious cross. Hosselu attacking that, comes out for Ferran Torres. Dani Olmo with a little backheel flick. 3 waiting for it, and yet he got there in the nick of time to put it away for a corner.
Yeah, fantastic movement by the Spaniards. On the build-up, they've attacked and they've got sort of 4/5 players centrally in the box. Still the ball's not going to come in, but they know when it does go wide, it's going to be 2 touch. Out the feet, whipped into the box. All of a sudden you've got 5 players in an attacking area. You're either going to get first contact or get on top of the second contact.
6 Spanish players inside the box this time. Again, the corner is worked short. Out towards Dani Olmo. Left-footed ball inside the penalty area is blocked. Grimaldo back towards halfway. The ball is brought under neat control by Jesus Navas. He's gone back for David Raya, who's had absolutely no opportunities to show his worth tonight. Raya deputising for Unai Simon. Simon, who started every game in the last World Cup and in the last Euros as well, but left out tonight as a part of this heavy rotation. Ball play forward. It was a touch reminiscent of one of mine from Oyarzabal, but it's broken back his way down towards Grimaldo, left-hand side of the penalty area, dragged back and spooned over the bar by Marino. Great opportunity from another delicious ball in from Grimaldo. Everybody expecting that deep ball again, just pulled it back 15 yards out to the unmarked Marino, but he couldn't hit the target.
Yeah, if you stop the action when that ball's played in the box, Jim, there's 5 Spanish players in the box looking to get on the end of it. That is impressive.
Ramadani getting it forward towards halfway for Albania. Mana, who's a precious little opportunity, links up the play well there, but I wonder whether it might be in Silvino's mind that he'll bring Armando Broja on. Now, the Chelsea man started the first game in this tournament. Mana has started the subsequent 2. Jim Shitty out of the left-hand touchline again for Albania. Better ball in this time, too high for Manai, but he timed his run well. Now breaks on the edge of the area. Good save from Raya, diving to his left-hand side. Really well struck by Aslani. It's the first save that Raya's had to make. He was at full stretch to get his hands behind it and fall on the rebound.
Well, the ball broke on the edge of the box to Aslani, and he has absolutely belted it. And Raya, great agility, launched himself to his left, got a double parry to it and kept it close to himself.
He's only scored a couple of goals for Albania. Aslani, that was really well hit. And It comes as the game goes into stoppage time at the end of this first half. There's just going to be 1 minute to be added, but Spain on the front foot in it. Joselu, left-hand side of the box. Little drop of the shoulder, works the angle, drags the shot wide of the near post of Strakosha, and out of play for a goal kick.
Yeah, first opportunity there for a long time in this game from the Albanians. A wonderful strike, dealt with, but the Spanish replied with a breakaway of their own, and Joselu just pulled his shot across the near post.
So a goal kick that Strakosha will take, right-footed, over the halfway line. It's the Ferran Torres goal in 13 minutes. That's the difference between these two. And that sees us through to half-time. Spain, already knowing at the start of the night that they were going to be winning this group. It's all a question of what happens in behind them. Albania know that a defeat will eliminate them, and at the moment, they find themselves behind here on TalkSport 2. Stuart, what have you made of that first 45 minutes?
Well, an early start. First 6 or 7 minutes, the Albanians, credit to them, got on the front foot, pressed well, but the longer the game's gone on, the Spanish have just taken over the momentum of the games, taken over the possession of the ball, and the most impressive thing, they've not passed the ball for fun. They passed the ball with great economy. They played brilliant through passes behind the back line, one scoring and getting the goal from. And more importantly, they put some wonderful balls in. They play it out wide. It's no more than 2 touch out wide. Out your feet, it comes in the box, and there's numbers in the box. And they've looked very, very effective playing that way.
They are playing against a side who, in terms of the rankings, are the lowest seeds in the entire tournament, Albania. But they've proved over the last 10 years that they can punch above their weight, that they're very game, and we've seen that in patches in this tournament here as well against Italy. Does this prove that the side that you described as the best that you've seen so far over the last 10 days also have the strength in depth? That was a question mark whether they had that with a young squad, but it looks from what we've seen tonight that they do.
Yeah, I think they played extremely well. I think you mentioned it in commentary. They've looked seamless. They look as though they're comfortable in each other's company on the football pitch as a team. They know exactly what they're doing. They know when the ball's out wide, it's coming in the box, you know, so I've got to make the box. They're making the box in big numbers, and they're a pleasure to watch at the moment. The plus for the Albanians, it's only 1-0. So why it's only 1-0, they've still got an opportunity. If you look at the Albanians and say, you're going to get an equaliser in this game, they might say, coming away from this tournament, if they do go out on 2 points, 2 draws in this group is a step forward in our evolution as a country, footballing wise.
Well, the whole of the second half is to come. A reminder that the other game tonight in Leipzig is live for you right now over on TalkSport. That's also half-time. Croatia against Italy is 0-0. So as things stand in the group at the moment, Spain have 9 points, Italy 4, Croatia 2, and Albania 1. Albania would be out, Croatia wouldn't mathematically be out, but 2 points with a goal difference of -3. Unlikely, not impossible, but unlikely to see you as one of the sides with one of the best third place records. They would probably fall just short. So work for Croatia to do, certainly work for Albania to do, and we've got the second half of both games coming up for you on the TalkSport network. Don't go away.
Official broadcaster of UEFA Euro 2024, Germany.
All too easy.
This is TalkSport 2.
Euro Game Day Live on TalkSport 2 with Carling, the UK's #1 lager. 18 plus, always drink responsibly.
Let's go live to hear about that winning goal.
The crowd's gone absolutely wild here. How on earth do you sum up your emotions right now?
Amazing. A hat-trick is just the best feeling ever.
Is it though? Is kicking a ball into the back of the net really better than food fulfillment from Burger King? That warm, fuzzy feeling of total food satisfaction, like finishing the last bite of a Gourmet King's barbecue steakhouse Angus.
No.
Correct. Burger King. That's food fulfillment.
When Andre sold his car on finance with Motorway, he got more money. Ooh!
What are you doing there?
He then put that extra money into tickets to follow his team around the country.
Come on, lads!
Selling on Motorway was completely stress-free, which is more than I can say about being a supporter of... Yes! Sell your car the more money way, where 84% of sellers sold for more. Motorway. Validated against 2 independent sources. Visit motorway.co.uk/claim.
Get match ready with club card prices. Like Pringles 185 grams, now £1.45, down from £2.25. With Tesco Club Card, everyone can feel to lower prices. Tesco, every little helps. Majority of larger stores end 16th July. Club Card or app required.
This tournament, prepare for greatness with William Hill. Get ready for last-minute winners, legendary goals, and straight red cards. Oh, what was he thinking? Win 50% more on every England game this tournament with Bet Builder Extra, online or in the app. Only from William Hill. Available day before match to kick-off. Bet Builders are 3+ selections at 3-1 or more. Pre-match singles, match stake £20. Full T's and C's apply. 18+. BeGambleAware.org.
Strength comes from confidence, both on and off the pitch. And confidence starts with self-care. Upgrade your game with Dove Men Plus Care Advanced 72-hour sweat protection antiperspirant deodorant and Dove Men Plus Care 24-hour nourishing body wash. Perfect for your post-match shower. Now available in new eucalyptus and mint long-lasting fresh fragrance. Let confidence last with Dove Men Plus Care. Proud partners of UEFA Euro 2024 Germany.
Here we are then, Jeff. Just minutes to go until the whistle. Will they make it?
Tense is an understatement, Jeff. There's so much riding on it. The question is, will they be able to find that extra gear when they need it most?
And here we go. Oh, yes, they've made it. That's why you drive a properly maintained vehicle.
Love to see that.
It's starting, come on.
Make sure your journey to the match is a smooth one. Book a free vehicle safety check today at quickfit.com or your local centre. QuickFit, drive away happy every time.
I need to get snacks, I need to get drinks, should have done this beforehand. I need to get treats, gotta find a BP, gotta find a BP. Oh, my mates say won't like me, gotta find a... Oh, there it is.
BP is here for all your big game essentials. Plus, BP Me Rewards members can earn points to put towards great saves.
Adam in the car 1, hungry mates 0.
BP, here for all of life's journeys. BP Me Rewards card or app required. For full T's and C's, visit ppmerewards.co.uk.
Euro Game Day Live, delivered by TalkSport 2 with Burger King. Save big with the $4.99 King Box. It's the ultimate match day lineup, featuring a barbecue double melt burger, chili cheese bites, fries, and a drink.
Official broadcast of UEFA Euro 2024 Germany.
Brilliant goal!
This is TalkSport 2.
And here they come. What a magnificent sight. Yes, it's live British horse racing on the radio, and TalkSport 2 have got it covered. Wednesday afternoon from 1, TalkSport 2 will bring you full coverage and live race commentary of all the action. Direct from Worcester. Saddle up for live British horse racing on the radio. Download the TalkSport app and swipe left, or ask your smart speaker to play TalkSport 2 to follow all the action. Wednesday afternoon from 1 on TalkSport 2.
TalkSport 2.
Bigger, better, bolder.
Zieh rüber!
Licensed broadcaster of UEFA Euro 2024 Germany.
Euro Game Day Live
on TalkSport 2.
Welcome back to Dusseldorf, the second half of Albania-Spain to come here on TalkSport 2. Spain leading it by a goal to nil through Ferran Torres at the moment. This time tomorrow, the half-time in the England-Slovenia game. About 45 minutes down the road from here in Cologne. The build-up from that one starts at 7 tomorrow night. 8 o'clock kickoff. And on the TalkSport YouTube channel right now, Stuart and I have previewed the game. Stuart tells you the side that he would pick for that match. Fascinating viewing with the big man as always, and that's live right now over on the TalkSport YouTube channel. But that's tomorrow. Let's come back to tonight and take a look at the halftime highlights with Carly.
Halftime highlights on TalkSport 2 with Carly, the UK's #1 lager. 18 plus, always drink responsibly.
Footed ball swung inside the box, and the header is saved well by Strakosha. Marino it was that pounded into the ground, and Strakosha dived to his right-hand side, got his body behind it, and was able to get it away. They work it forward again here, and score! Ferran Torres coming in off the right flank, took it on his left foot, in off the far post. Albania with an excellent start in this game, but it's Spain with their potency up front that take the lead. Ferran Torres, 1-0.
playing through the thirds, very clinical, into wide areas, ball is in the box, people attacking it. It's very good on the eye.
Wins it back though on the edge of the box. Chance for Grimaldo to deliver. Takes a touch, fires it in, left-footed towards the far post. Ferran Torres with a header, and he's put it over the bar.
We've watched the Spanish for so long overpass. Now all of a sudden they're so direct. It's an absolute pleasure to watch.
Well, that was the halftime highlights. Thanks to Carling. 18 plus, please drink responsibly.
Halftime highlights on TalkSport 2 with Carling, the UK's #1 lager. 18 plus, always drink responsibly.
And a reminder that the other game live for you right now over on TalkSport, 0-0 between Croatia and Italy. That has ramifications for what happens here and who's going to be second, third and fourth in this group. Spain, remember, have already won the group. Time now to get the latest odds with William Hill.
In the Zone on TalkSport 2 with William Hill. Prepare for greatness with William Hill. 18 plus, gambleaware.org.
And no surprise that Spain are heavily odds on, 1-0 up and 12-1 on to see the job through from here. 7-1 the draw. And Albania to turn it around and win 35-1. Also, the Spanish to score a penalty, 15-2. And Dani Olmo to have at least one shot on target is 11-8. They're both enhanced odds. That's all thanks to William Hill. 18 plus, begambleaware.org.
In the Zone on TalkSport 2 with William Hill. Prepare for greatness with William Hill. 18 plus, gambleaware.org.
So Spain leading and winning the group, second in the group at the moment. Italy 0-0 in their game with Croatia over on TalkSport right now. And this is how the first half played out in Leipzig in the company of Nigel Adderley and Dean Ashton.
Croatia, realistically, this is a match they must win or they will be going home. A defeat for the Italians and a shock win for Albania against Spain, and the Azzurri will also be on the first flight back to Rome tomorrow morning. Croatia come forward now and a shot fired in, and it's tipped over by Donnarumma. The high cross in, Retegui's header is just wide, and Livakovic was rooted to the spot there. I don't think he had it covered. Morella dinks a high ball in, a free header for Bastoni, tipped over the top superbly by Livakovic to keep Croatia alive in the championships.
And so that's 0-0. They'll be starting the second half very shortly. The group as it stands right now, Spain 9, Italy 4, Croatia 2, Albania 1 in terms of who will play who. If you win the group as Spain have, you get a team that finished third, probably will be the team that finished third in Group E. That's not definite yet, but then if they win that, a potential quarterfinal against Germany. Runners up in this group get Switzerland, and if you finish third in this group and your record is good enough, which Croatia's may well not be at the moment, you get the winners of Group E or Group F. We'll be finding out how things unfold over the next 45 minutes or so. And Stuart and I, as I mentioned, will be in Cologne tomorrow evening as we bring you live commentary on the TalkSport network of England's final group game. Three Lions taking on Slovenia. And Gareth Southgate's been speaking to the media this evening, revealing that Luke Shaw is unavailable for selection tomorrow.
Luke's the only one that is not really available. He'll possibly change with the team tomorrow, but he's not quite ready to be involved in the game yet. We've always known that we are one of the teams that could win the tournament, and we also knew that Spain, France, Germany, Portugal, you've only got to look at the squads and the quality of players. You look at Croatia, who have to win tonight to stay in the tournament. That's the level of this competition. It's incredibly high. So we haven't changed our objectives, what's possible. We know to do that, we've got to find a different level to what we've shown so far. But I'm expecting that we'll do that.
And England going into that game, of course, 2 points clear at the top of the group. Denmark against Serbia. The other game tomorrow night will be live for you contemporaneously on TalkSport 2. Stuart, what have you seen from the way that Spain have played tonight that you would hope to see in 24 hours' time from England?
The directness, I think the energy to get players in the box, the ball when it goes into wide areas coming in the box, so the rest of the team know, look, I have to make the box because that's where the ball's coming from. And you've only got to look at Jude Bellingham's goal for England, ball out wide into the box, runs into the box and delivering. And that's the sort of thing, that high energy running towards the opposition's goal, I think is vitally important for us tomorrow, Jim.
Well, England will win Group C with a victory over Slovenia. It is live on TalkSport. Build-up starting at 7. Denmark against Serbia, which could become highly relevant, be live on TalkSport 2. Before those games tomorrow, incidentally, the concluding fixtures in Group D, with the Netherlands, France and Austria all with a chance of winning the group. Netherlands-Austria on TalkSport from 5. France-Poland on TalkSport 2. So 2 games for you on your way home from work tomorrow. A change being made by the Spanish at half-time ahead of the second half of this one. And Robin Lenormand, the Real Sociedad French-born centre-half, has come on to replace Aymeric Laporte. So Laporte, the one player retained, taken off at half-time, and Lenormand on to replace him. That's the only change that either manager has made. Albania, red shirts, black shorts, will kick from right to left. Spain defending the end of the stadium here in Düsseldorf that houses their pockets of support. The two sides lining up as follows. Raya in goal for Spain. Navas, Vivian, Lenormand and Grimaldo. Zubimendi and Marino. Oyarzabal, Dani Olmo and Ferran Torres. And Joselu. Albania, Strakosha in goal. Baliu, Ayeti, Jimshiti and Mitai. Ramadani and Aslani, Asani, Laci, Barami and Manai. Referee Glenn Niebuhr from Sweden. Hasn't got anybody in the book as yet. Ferran Torres on 13 minutes, the only man on the score sheet. Now the Swedish officials just waiting for the signal from the match manager to get this second half underway. They'll be just doing everything they can to choreograph the starts of the 2 second halves, this game and the game in Leipzig, which is live for you right now over on TalkSport. 1-0 Spain leading here. And 0-0 in that game as well. The referee, having got everybody out early, just forced to wait a while. Just explain the situation now to Joselu, who scored those 2 goals off the bench in the Champions League semi-final second leg against Bayern Munich earlier this season. 2 goals in 3 minutes. What an Indian summer he's having to his career. Only made his international debut last year, a couple of days before his 33rd birthday, and now featuring in a major international tournament for the very first time. I imagine this would be quite frustrating for the players, Stu. You get the alarm, you come out, and you're ready for the start of the second half, and then you're told to wait and wait and wait some more.
Yeah, I take it they're waiting for both games to kick off simultaneously, but you and I know that chances are there's going to be a different amount of extra time in each of the games. So what difference does it make, I would say?
One of the half-time whistle in the other one blew just at the same time as the half-time in this one as well. Anyway, we are just about to get underway. Spain in pastel yellow from left to right. Night falling here in the Rhine Valley. Beautiful summer's evening. Temperature's still pretty hot in the mid-20s, even at this time of night. We are underway. Ball work back for Lenormand, getting his first touch and controlling it again on the edge of his own penalty area. Centre-half wearing 3. He's an inexperienced centre-half partnership with him, with Danny Vivian. It's the 14th cap for Lenormand tonight. French ball like the man he's replaced, Aymeric Laporte. Spain started the first half slowly, and Albania hoping to be able to apply a similarly intense press at the beginning of this second half, but Spain have been able to work their way right through it. And Dani almost got it on the inside right channel. Good movement past him from Ferran Torres. That created space for Jesus Navas on the right flank. Back from him to Zubimendi. Now Vivian. The left-hand side of the midfield for Grimaldo. Good movement coming in off the left-hand side from Mikel Merino. Spain making their way forward steadily. It's more like the old Spain just for a moment, but now there always is the risk that they can go up through the gears. They work it quickly out towards the right-hand side for Jesus Navas. No longer is it Spain playing hundreds of passes to wait for the perfect moment to provide the clinical pass. Much more direct than so many Spanish sides which have preceded them. Direct with a purpose though, rather than for the sake of it. Here's Grimaldo on the left flank for Spain. Left-footed ball swung inside the area and volleyed just wide by Joselu. 50 passes in the move, and then when the ball comes in, Joselu, off balance, acrobatically, fires a left-footed volley just past the post.
Once again, the Spaniards holding their width on both sides, full-back and wide player, as wide as you can possibly get. When it turned up in that wide area, whipped in as per normal, two-touch. And Joselu really unfortunate with an acrobatic hook.
That clearance comes from the right-hand side from the goalkeeper. Headed on by Manai. Then headed down through the midfield. Flicked on by Dani Olmo. Dani Olmo playing it back. Worked down to the heart of the Albanian back line. And on the left-hand touchline, it's worked back through. Once more by the Spanish Marino. Trying to get it in. And Strakosha can come out and is able to claim it just on the penalty spot. 2.5 gone in the second half, and it's still 1-0 Spain.
Well, Balliou done really well there, just seeing out the run, but he left it for his goalkeeper. Unfortunately for him, his goalkeeper didn't leave it for the centre forward to run in and tap into the goal. And at this moment, it looks as though Albania are going to have to get a goal against the run of play in some way, shape or form. I just wondered at half-time, Jim, whether Broja might come on to offer a little bit more pace, a little bit more physical prowess as well. Manai not offering a great deal at present.
Jemshidi over the halfway line, play forward through the heart of the centre circle. In terms of possession in the first half, it was 61-39 in Spain's favour. Albania probably need to up that by a couple of notches, get themselves back into this game. Remember, a draw still might not be good enough. It will be, as things stand, be enough to get them back above Croatia and into third place in the group. They're currently bottom of the group. But realistically, this is a game they need to win. A draw might end up being good enough, though, if other results go their way. They would need Slovenia to lose to England. They need Georgia not to beat Portugal. They need the Czechs not to beat Turkey, or have a higher scoring draw than Albania do tonight. So it could happen. Spain bring it forward though. Dani Olmo in towards Joselu, just waiting for the pullback. Albania are able to bring it away again towards the edge of the centre circle. Down to the left-hand side. Long crossfield ball. Nice pass by Aslani. Out of the right-hand side of the penalty area. Aslani getting it back. Right-footed effort. That is blocked. Comes back outside the penalty area again. Asani down the right-hand side of the box. Laci turning, clipping it inside. Headed away by Vivian, who's had a good night tonight on his competitive debut. And now Dani Olmo can lead the counter-attack, scything his way through. Strakosha was off his line. He's gone for goal from 55 yards, but he didn't get anything like the elevation that he needed. And he goes straight through for the goalkeeper.
Yeah, he done super there. He drove past two players, got his head up, but he's just stretching for it, really. Couldn't get any elevation, as you rightly say. Just prior to that, the Albanians, good build-up play, good counter-attack. Once again, that final pass just lacking.
Albania will try and play forward from the back with Aslani. Chipped over the top by Ayeti, and it just goes all the way through without causing the Spanish any problems at all to David Raya. He will then bowl it once, bounces on the edge of the D, and it will come forward through the midfield. You're with TalkSport 2 here in Dusseldorf tonight. Jim Bradford, former England captain Stuart Pearce talking through the action. Spain leading 1-0, really good value for it, but the Albanians still in with a puncher's chance of being able to do enough to keep themselves in the tournament, certainly beyond tonight. Maybe beyond the next 48 hours as well. They've given away a free kick here. The left back Mitai has just gone in a little bit over exuberantly, and it's a free kick that Spain will take on their right-hand touchline. Stu?
Yeah, referee's just coming over to have a word with Silvino. I think one of his staff has protested a touch too much. I think he's just been booked for it.
There's a yellow card around the fourth official, Mikola Balakin from Ukraine, is having a word with Silvino as well. Silvino wagging his finger, not happy that he has picked up that yellow card. The first person to have his name taken tonight, and it is the Albanian head coach. Barami, wearing 10 for Albania. Down towards Mitai, turn beautifully back through the midfield. All of a sudden Albania can come forward in a little bit of space. Played out to the right flank once more. Asani coming towards the edge of the penalty area, onto his left foot, checks. I think he'll want to get it back onto his left foot again. Now he does get the cross in, but it sails over Manai's head, headed away by Navas, and is going to be brought down. And inside the centre circle is one back, and Jim Shitty, the Albanian captain, the Atalanta defender, can work it forward again. Mitai back to Aslani. Aslani towards halfway for Ramadani. Through the centre circle again from Ayeti. Ayeti to Asani. Better possession this from Albania, although a lot of it is within 10 yards of the halfway line, either side of the halfway line. Ayeti's got it again now, and goes back to his goalkeeper, and it's chipped right-footed by Strakosha. Strakosha to the edge of the box, played forward by the Albanians, who've dominated possession over the last couple of minutes or so without yet being able to force another save out of David Raya.
Yeah, just looking at the Albanians there on their build, there's no players sort of looking to spin in behind. I think Manai there just attempting to do so, but they need to do a little bit of that just to stretch the Spanish backline, then they might receive defeat a little bit more readily.
Marino knocking it square. 8 minutes gone in the second half here on TalkSport 2. There's still no change in the scorelines in either game. 0-0 in Leipzig over on TalkSport, 1-0 here to Spain, although Croatia do have a penalty in that game. Live for you right now over on TalkSport. If you've got the app, you can easily swipe between the two. That'll be a real game changer. Penalty to Croatia, but still 0-0. Spain with possession on the edge of their own penalty area. Lenormand back to his goalkeeper, David Raya. Out from Raya to Vivian, and back again. And now play forward towards Zubimendi, and back again. And it's much more measured at the moment as far as the Spanish are concerned. Inside the centre circle, Zubimendi's got it, and he will be able to turn easily. Hosselu just drops off the the forward line, comes back inside the centre circle, chips the ball down towards the far touchline. An opportunity to bring it forward now for Zubimendi. Albania have dropped back into a much more resolute defensive shape, not quite as open as they were. Played forward again towards the edge of the box, and should be easily cleared. And now Aslani inside the Albanian midfield works it down for Mitai. Back towards the edge of the box and out towards the right-hand side once more. That penalty, incidentally, has been saved, but I think Croatia, from the next phase of play, have scored. Luka Modric, and Croatia lead by a goal to nil. That is a huge game changer. Tell you the ramifications in a moment. Barami trying to bring the ball inside the penalty area, and Spain are going to be able to bring it away.
Yeah, good effort there, good opportunity for Barami driving into the box, but once again good defensive play. A numbers game, managed to keep him out.
So the group as it stands right now: Spain 9 points, Croatia 4, Italy 3, Albania 1 after Luka Modric's goal. Donnarumma saving the penalty, and then Luka Modric, having seen that penalty saved, for the next phase of play, able to score. So Italy down in third place at the moment. If Albania now turn this around, Italy will be out. I wonder if it'll be in the Spanish minds to let that happen. Navas back inside his own half, 15 yards inside his own half. The ball goes all the way back for his goalkeeper again. It's a little bit of shadow boxing going on in the last couple of minutes here.
Yeah, as I say, it looks a big ask at this moment in time for Albania to get back in the game, even on level terms, let alone turn the game round to win it. But you just never know. A goal out of nowhere, all of a sudden we got a game on.
Spanish have it on halfway. Hosselu has dropped back again towards Marino. Marino on the edge of the centre circle was caught by Manai. Referees played the advantage. Down he comes towards Jesus Navas. Navas level with the edge of the box. Right-footed ball swung inside the penalty area. Joselu goes down inside the box under a challenge from Balliu. No foul. Balliu's going to be able to bring it away. No real complaints from Joselu that he was fouled. It's a 1-0 Croatia lead Italy. The Italians making a change. Chiesa coming on to replace Di Marco in that game. And 12 minutes in here, it's still 1-0 to Spain.
I think Manai has probably made his last interaction there. Ball got played up to him. He's run under the ball, been taken under it. No real action to attempt to retain it, and I think that's his night finished.
Yeah, it looks as though he's run himself into the ground. Breuer would be the natural replacement for him. Spain still in possession. Played out to the far touchline. 5 yards from the edge of the penalty area. They work it back again through the midfield. So every Albanian player, goal side. Spain a little bit more recalcitrant and getting the ball inside the penalty area early. Almost as if they're a little bit more content now to sit on the lead than they were before. Now Marino can get it out wide. Grimaldo with a low ball in towards the near post. Dani Olmo trying to sweep it towards goal. Second bite of the cherry, chips it up for Ferran Torres with a header. Strakosha doesn't know whether to come out or not. Elects in the end rightly to stay back, and Jim Shitty will be able to clear. And it goes into the Spanish dugout and out of play. Here's the change. Manai off. Armando Breuer, the Slough-born striker, who started against Italy on the bench for the last game and for tonight, and he's going to come on for about 35 minutes of playing time here.
Well, I think Manai's been very, very poor tonight. No physical prowess up front. He's been bullied, he's been cajoled, and he's been too lightweight, to be honest with you. Now they've got a potential physical presence, and certainly somebody that's got the ability to get turned and go past anyone.
Has scored 5 international goals in his career, Armando Breuer, but only 1 in his last 9 games, which came against Liechtenstein. Raya played out from the back for Spain. Croatia leading 1-0. Spain leading 1-0. Croatia would finish second in the group, and Italy third as things stand at the moment. Albania would be going out. Good work down the left-hand side of the penalty area from Grimaldo, standing up a ball towards the back post. Shitty heads it away, and then is volleyed further clear by Aslani. Breuer chasing after it and just forces Vivian into a hasty left-footed clearance, which goes all the way through to the Albanian goalkeeper Strakosha.
Yeah, even that little bit of turn of pace from Breuer put a bit of panic in the back line of the Spaniards, to be honest with you, and they need to feed him to his feet to get him turned.
On the right-hand side of the box, the Spaniards can bring it forward again. Ferran Torres, the man whose goal is the difference between the two teams at the moment. Recycling it through towards Jesus Navas. Now brought down by Zubimendi. Zubimendi working it forward. Getting it back from Marino. Spain down towards the right-hand side for Ferran Torres. It's the Albanian fans that you can hear bouncing up and down the way to our right-hand side. Very animated, the Albanian supporters, as we've been mentioning here in Düsseldorf, in their tens of thousands over the last 48, 72 hours or so, in readiness for this game. They still trail 1-0, but the sense that Croatia might have thrown them a lifeline, but Albania need to turn this around. It could yet be an extraordinary night where the European champions end up being eliminated. It all depends on what happens here. If Italy can't get themselves back into that game in Leipzig, and they trail Croatia 1-0. Spain are going to make another change, and it's going to be Fermin Lopez who will come on for Oyarzabal. Fermin Lopez also on for his competitive debut. 11 goals in his breakthrough season with Barcelona this season. He made his debut against Andorra 3 weeks ago, and he's coming on for his second international cap tonight.
Yeah, as I say, from the Spanish point of view, they're comfortable in possession of this. They know the second goal finishes the game totally. But Albania still hanging in there, still why it's 1-0. They'll, if they do nick a goal and do come on parity, You never know what happens in this game.
And there won't be, joking apart, there won't be any thoughts, will there, in terms of Spain thinking, well, we are in a position that we could potentially engineer something to get Italy knocked out if it stays that way in the game in Leipzig. They're not going to be conceding goals here.
No, that certainly wouldn't cross their mind. If anything, they'd like to put this game to bed, I'm sure, so they can just see the game out and break the hearts of the Albanians. You're a scandal monger and a half, Jimbo.
No, not at all. I'm just asking the questions. You're refuting them. I knew you would. It's going to be a free kick which will be taken for an offside by David Raya, right on the edge of his own penalty area, and he side-footed it 35 yards to his left. He played forward neatly by Grimaldo. Spain still with the majority of possession, but all the time it ends, or all the time it is 1-0. The Albanians will certainly fancy their chances of maybe being able to create one chance to get themselves back into the game. Spain 5 yards outside their own box, bringing the ball forward now. Still with the ball at his feet, Danny Vivian, just to his left-hand side. It is much more possession for possession's sake in this second half than it was in the first, just trying to tire the Albanians out, making them do some running, chasing after the ball, which has been such a scarce commodity for them over the course of the last sort of 35 minutes of action. Played 63. Spain bringing the ball forward over halfway. It's well won back and cleanly won back by Ramadani, although I think most people were anticipating that Fermin Lopez is going to win a free kick, and laid off by Bayrami. Back from Laci. Down to Ayeti, out of the right-hand side for Baliu. He'll work it forward into Spanish territory for Breuer, who's come back off the front line and wins a free kick. He did well to control the ball with a Spanish defender right behind him. Much more of a physical presence up front, as Stu was saying, than Manai, the man that he's replaced, and already a good illustration of that. Free kick taken, works inside the box. Breuer! Save! Everybody in the Spanish team switched off to that apart from David Raya. It was just chipped forward down the inside right channel, and he's volleyed it right-footed at the goalkeeper. He's got his hands behind it and beaten it away. Decent stop, but the best chance that Albania have had in the second half.
Well, I've got to say, Breuer, in the 4 minutes he's been on, has done more than Manai has in the rest of the game, to be quite honest with you.
Long throw inside the penalty area, headed away by Marino. Albania trying to bring the ball down, and successful in that regard. Play back towards Ayeti. Ayeti clipping it forward right-footed towards the edge of the penalty area. Laci couldn't win it, but still they'll be able to come now. Slani takes over. He's on the edge of the penalty area. Left-footed effort, blocked, deflected behind and out to play for a corner to Albania. You're listening to Euro Game Day Live on TalkSport 2. Presented by Carling, the UK's #1 lager, 18 plus. Please drink responsibly. Albania's first corner of the second half. Sorry, Stu. It's going to be a right-footed in-swinging delivery. Deep towards the far post. Too deep for Ayeti. Now he has to hair after it, stop it going out of play for a goal kick. It's been successful. Down by the corner flag, he wrapped his right foot around it to recycle it. Albania will come again with the left-back Mitai on the edge of the centre circle. Down towards the left flank. Helped on again by Aslani. Slani down towards Bayrami in his bright yellow boots. Just an increasing sense of a little modicum of belief now for the Albanians. They look to try and get themselves back into this game. And that's gone out of play for a goal kick, and it's going to be a yellow card for a dive for Bayrami. Knew that his touch was a little bit heavy and he'd run it out of play, so he went down optimistically, and the referee saw it for what it was.
Yeah, exactly that. I think there was a slight touch on him, but not enough to fell him like we saw him go down. In fact, I think the Spanish defender probably just pulled his foot away in time for no contact, but I think the introduction of Breuer certainly improves the tempo of the Albanian side.
Play 64 minutes. Clearance from the right-hand side of the penalty area comes from David Raya. Boot was raised there, Mitai just ducking his head into it, but Ferran Torres boot too high. Dangerous play, free kick, indirect free kick for Albania, but well inside their own half. We're approaching the midway stage of the second half, and a reminder that over on TalkSport right now, still Croatia leading Italy 1-0 with Luka Modric's goal, which would, as things stand right now, have the Italians finishing third in the group. Their record of 3 points and finishing third with a goal difference of 0 would almost certainly be enough for them to qualify. But as things stand right now, Albania's defeat, or impending defeat, would be enough for England to mathematically go through to the knockout stages. Breuer is down hurt. That's the boos and the whistles from the Albanian support, and his teammate Chazim Laci goes across to see if he's okay. Play stops, and it will restart the drop ball to the Albanians on halfway, but they were very nearly able to work a counter-attack there, and Breuer, in making his way forward, just got caught slightly underneath the knee.
Just got nicked, as I say, gone down, still limping away from the situation, but certainly his introduction, his bit of pace has certainly improved things.
Well, here on TalkSport 2, you're listening to Albania 0, Spain 1. After us, over on TalkSport, Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy will give you the chance to have your say on the night's football. 03717 223344 is the number. And tomorrow morning, Jeff Stanning and Ali McCoy bringing you TalkSport breakfast from 6. England high on the agenda ahead of the final group game against Slovenia this time tomorrow. That will kick off at 8 your time, the build-up from 7. Albania poised to make a double change in a moment. They've already brought Breuer on. We're going to be seeing Berisha and Hodja in a moment as well. A double change, and Spain will be making a double change to counter that with Morata and Yamal. So 4 substitutes ready for action. 20 minutes into the second half, Yeti chesting the ball down, bringing it through the centre circle. Lovely drop of the shoulder from the centre half. Aslani, good change of direction from him. And towards the right flank. Albania coming forward towards the edge of the penalty area. Low left-footed effort was not the best from Asani. Bobbled its way through. And David Rao was able to get his hands behind it comfortably and get it away. He's bowled it out towards the far touchline. And there are 20 minutes for Albania to score at least 1, possibly 2. And really galvanise their chances here of making it through to the knockout stages for the first time in their history. On the back foot for a moment now. Navas getting the ball in, but his cross has gone straight into the side netting.
Yeah, there's no doubt in the last 10 minutes or so, the Albanians are the side on top, are the ones looking to go forward and getting numbers in and around the Spanish penalty box.
So here come the changes. Firstly, Albania, Laci coming off, and Medon Berisha, who plays his club football in Italy for Lecce, is coming on. Bayrami also makes way, and he'll be replaced by Arba Hodja, who won 3 caps for Kosovo, the German-born winger, but comes on for his 7th for Albania. That Navas cross just took a nick on its way through into the side netting and out for a corner, which Spain will take. They aren't going to make their double change until after the corner is taken. Corner on the Spanish right, swung inside the 6-yard box, off Jim Shitty's head, headed further away, right to the edge of the penalty area, but no further clear. Headed back to the edge of the box by the Spaniards, worked over the top for Vivian, the centre half, who is 4 down on the left-hand touchline. He can't find a way through, and it's gone out of play for a throw to Albania, and Spain will now make their double change. And they've got Alvaro Morata preparing to come on, and Lamine Yamal as well. Ferran Torres, who at the moment is the match winner, is going to be the first player to leave the field, and the second is Joselu. So for Morata, for Joselu, and Yamal is going to come on to replace Ferran Torres. Yamal still 18 days short of his 17th birthday, the youngest player in Euros history. 50 games and 6 goals for Barcelona this season. Scored on his debut just 8 weeks past his 16th birthday. One of 2 international goals that he scored. He's on for his 10th cap tonight. Morata At the other end of the scale, 10 goals in 16 internationals in tournament football in his career. 3 in Euro 2016, 3 in Euro 2020. Now the first Spaniard to score in 3 successive European Championships. 18 minutes to go. 1-0 to Spain. And it's been that way for almost exactly an hour now. Albania still hanging in there, restricting the number of opportunities that Strakosha's got to face and offering just a little bit more going forward themselves. Ball over on the Spanish left. Work towards Zubamendi. Zubamendi, a right-footed clip down towards the right-hand touchline. Navas is waiting for it. It's a good turn though by Yamal. Yamal trying to take on his man. He's done that. He's beaten him. Ball inside the penalty area for Lopez. Yamal will try and take over. Ended up almost tackling his teammate. Hodja wins it back for the Albanians. And they can get out of the penalty area. Play themselves into trouble. Aslani though can buy the free kick, which they'll take about 10 yards outside their own box. 1-0.
Yeah, just looking at Breuer there, he's looking to receive and receive to feet, which is commendable on occasion, but I think what his team need at the moment is a focal point to run in behind, to free up space.
Little reverse ball towards the edge of the penalty area from the Spanish. Knocked away easily by Ayeti. 2 centre-halves coming into their own now for Albania. Breuer, and it's just laid a ball out towards Asani, behind him from close range, and it's cheap concession of possession. The Spanish will have a throw. Still 1-0 Croatia and 1-0 Spain.
I think any goal before probably about 5 minutes to go plus a bit of extra time for the Albanians, they'll believe. Anything after that, I think the Spanish will just see this game out, and certainly at this juncture of the match, if they do score a second, this game's finished.
Remember, with Croatia leading Italy by a goal to nil, if Albania turn this around, Italy would finish bottom of the group and would be eliminated. And have 3 points, might well have a record that ends up being better than some of the sides that qualify in 3rd place in their groups. But Italy would finish bottom of this group if Albania come from behind to win this game, if Italy can't find an equaliser in Leipzig. Spain are in possession 20 yards outside the Albanian penalty area. Work forward towards Dani Olmo. And on the left-hand side of the Spanish midfield, it comes back again for Lenormand. Long crossfield ball from him over here. Goes straight out of play. And it's a throw which will be taken on the Albanian left-hand side. Time ticking down pretty quickly for 16 to go here on TalkSport 2.
Yeah, and it's probably been the strongest 10 minutes that the Albanians have had in the game. They need to maintain this sort of momentum and forward drive.
You're listening to Euro Game Day live on TalkSport 2, presented by Burger King. Bring home the ultimate food satisfaction. Get your favourites delivered now. 75 gone. 1-0 Spain. We've got the ball with Mikel Merino. It's a Spanish side, if you're just joining us, that have made 10 changes today. Lenormand getting it forward towards the centre circle. Down towards Navas. Navas coming in off the right flank. Plays it back behind square for Zubamendi. Zubamendi to Navas again. Does he want to throw off Hodja? No, he hasn't. Didn't get the touch off the Albanian substitute. It'll be a throw which will be taken on the left-hand side by the fullback Mitai. Not in any great hurry to take it. He's worked it forward towards Hodja. Layoff was a difficult one because he had 4 in yellow all around him pretty quickly. Now Lamine Yamal. Yamal across the edge of the penalty area. Dynamic pass that wasn't the best. Played inside the box, but the offside flag is up against Morata. Up very early as the ball was played into him by Fermin Lopez. I think they got him about half a yard off, and it's a free kick which will be taken by the Albanians inside their own box. 14 to go. And it's still Croatia 1, Italy 0. And Albania 0, Spain 1. Long ball over the top from the Albanians. Picked up well by Arba Hodja towards the edge of the penalty area. Hodja onto his left foot, then onto his right, trying to work the angle, and it's well intercepted by the retreating Spanish midfielder. Dani Olmo came back and knocked it away. Looked as though Hodja's ball might be an effective one. And now Spain can bring it forward with Yamal, who's made a difference since coming on. A sharpness about the 16-year-old. Fermin Lopez, left-footed effort, telegraphed somewhat, just hit it towards the edge of the penalty area, straight into Aslani, and blocked, and Ramadani can bring it away. Hodger seeing plenty of it since coming on. 13 left, Hodger bringing it forward, past the tiring Jesus Navas, good reverse ball. Breuer, left-hand side of the penalty area, made a really good run. Comes back outside the box for Aslani. Aslani left-footed effort, just wide. Really good strike. Don't know that Rye would quite have got there if it had been creeping inside the far post, but it went about 4-5 feet wide.
Yeah, Aslana there done really well, cut back onto his left foot. The angle was a bit more acute, if you like, but it opened up a shooting angle. His left foot was brilliantly struck, but just too wide. And Broja done exactly what he should be doing there. Play to your strengths, spin and run into the channels and in behind. He's too often wanting to come to feet all the time, and his game understanding, well, a little bit wanting on occasion, it's fair to say.
Thought you were just going to leave that hanging there in the ether for people to finish the sentence. Only one defeat in 15 months for the Spanish, which came in a friendly against Colombia back in March. They lead this one, but Albania have earned the right to give it a good go over the last 10-12 minutes or so. Hodger towards the edge of the penalty area. Breuer with the layoff. Aslani to his right-hand side. Shot from distance, took a deflection, but it was a kind one for Spain because it took it into the path of Raya rather than away from it. There's a good shot from Berisha from distance, but it remains 1-0.
Yeah, once again, in this group of so-called death that the Albanians found themselves in, they're in the game again, and they found resurgence in this game and pushing all the way.
If it stays the way it is at the moment, Croatia leading Italy by a goal to nil, it does mean that Albania have to win this game. A draw won't be enough for them. They'll bring it forward here towards the edge of the area. Grimaldo for Spain. Inside the boxer, right-footed effort from Dani Olmo, well blocked by Balliu, and it spins behind for a corner to Spain. Second Spanish goal now, kills the Albanians off. But Albania needing to as things stand right now, giving themselves a little bit of confidence that they might be able to do it. 2, 3, 4 bottles thrown from the Albanian support, down towards Grimaldo, away to the far touchline. So disappointing to see. The Albanian support has been brilliant, but just launching missiles at Spanish player going across to take a corner is very poor indeed. Left-footed corner swung towards the edge of the box, and the header goes over the bar. Strakosha able to easily watch that one over as Morata craned his neck. Now with 10 to go, it remains 1-0 to Spain.
Yeah, you're right in what you say there, Jim. I mean, it does their team absolutely no good whatsoever, missiles being thrown from their section of fans at the Spanish corner taker. They've got momentum in the game. They want to keep that momentum.
They're going to be making another change. And Mucci, the Besiktas midfielder, is going to be coming on. They've got a free kick. Is Mucci going to be coming on now? They're going to wait for the next break in play. It's the latter. They've taken the free kick short from just inside the Spanish half to just inside the Albanian half. Out on the right-hand side, Berisha controlling it, laying it back to the right-hand touchline again. Spun around the corner by Breuer. And Marino has won it back. Laid back to the edge of his own penalty area. Easily knocked out by Vivian. Down towards the teenager Yamal, make his way into a more central area. It's a cultured little layoff from him, brought forward by Lopez. He's lost out on the edge of the D. Albania can bring it away and win a free kick midway inside their own half for a slightly mistimed challenge from the retreating Fermin Lopez. Here's the latest change, Asani coming off, and Mucci will come on to replace him. Came on for the last 5 minutes against Italy. Has scored 3 goals in his last 8 internationals. 13 in club football this season. 9 for Legia Warsaw before moving to Besiktas, where he added another 4. So Ernest Mucci on. And that's 4 changes made by the Albanians. Spain have made 3. 8 to go. Albania, as things stand right now, would be a heroic failure from them, but it will be a failure as things stand at the moment. Croatia continue to lead 1-0. That means that they will be finishing second in the group behind Spain, who are guaranteed to win it. Italy would be third, but with a record that would be good enough for them, you would think. Not mathematically certain as yet, but the results as they stand right now will see France, the Netherlands and England all mathematically book their places of some description in the last 16. 8 to go. Right-footed ball clipped down to the right-hand touchline for the Spanish, for Jesus Navas, who will come forward over the halfway line. Navas has got Yamal holding the width on the right-hand side, and he gets it and almost effortlessly comes inside. They brought him down. He's back on his feet actually after being shoved to the ground by Mitai almost in the blink of an eye, and the advantage might have worked quite well for him, but he gets the free kick. More than happy just to take a couple of seconds off the clock. There's no time wasting from the Spanish, despite the situation that they find themselves in. So they look to get out of the group with a 100% record, which is something they've only ever done once before in the Euros, and that was back in 2008 en route to winning the trophy. Ball over the top for Yamal. Control it with his left foot. What a turn that is! Level with the edge of the penalty area. Side foots it through the box, but the pass wasn't as good as the approach play, and Albania get it away. Berisha's done well. Good turn from him. And Albania, in the dark red shirts, come forward again in number 5, making their way towards the edge of the box. Out it comes for Hodja. Hodja with a step over and right-footed effort, which is sailing still 20 rows back.
Oh, the frustration at the front end of the Albanian side, just finding it so elusive to find that exact finish or that exact run. They're just falling a bit short, and probably Breuer exemplifies that. You know, for every 4 interactions he has, 2 of them you're left scratching your head, and 2 you think, yeah, well done. Yamal has come onto the pitch and probably done nigh on everything correct. On that occasion, he probably should have been a touch more selfish in his finish. Decided to try and find a teammate, but brilliant setup play by himself.
Spain bring Alex Baena on, and Dani Olmo's gone off. The Villarreal midfielder who also came on against Italy, on for his 5th cap. He scored just 72 seconds after coming on for his debut against Cyprus earlier this season. Raya with the clearance, 6 minutes to go. Croatia will finish second and will be going through. Italy will have a nervous wait as things stand. They will finish 3rd in the group. Albania will be going out unless they can score a couple of very late goals. They scored a very late goal against Croatia in their last game to equalise, but they need a late winner here if Croatia continue to lead that game in Leipzig, which is live for you right now over on TalkSport. Clearance comes from Baliu. Goes forward towards the edge of the penalty area. Raya has picked it up. Lenormand came on as a half-time substitute for Laporte. Finding Baliu. Finding Vivian, I beg your pardon. He squeezed it through the midfield, but he's lost it. Now Albania will be able to break for the Red Waves towards the edge of the penalty area, but knocked away easily by Navas, who came into a central position to clear. 5 minutes left. Albania's still in there fighting, but still needing to create opportunities. They need 2 goals on a night. They've only had 3 shots on target so far. That is, though, 1 more than Spain, to give them credit. Into the final 5 minutes of both games. Both still very finely poised, separated by goals from Croatia's Luka Modric and Spain's Ferran Torres. Throw which will be taken by the Spaniards. Back towards the edge of their own penalty area. Raya's got it. Raya takes a touch, moves it through the D. Into the feet of Lopez. Lopez forward towards halfway. Run back by the Albanians, shipped over the top. Breuer chasing after it. Vivian came across, bravely ducked his head in where the boots might be flying. Loose ball just trickles out of the penalty area. Raya goes out and kicks it back inside the box and is able to pick it up. Then bowls it down for Jesus Navas. 926th game of his career for club and country. Ball from him, Lamine Yamal losing out. Navas, adamant that he should have had a free kick, almost talks his way into the book. And rather than being a Spain free kick, it is going to be an Albanian throw. 4 to go.
Yep, and as I say, that killer pass needs to be played slightly better, and I've got to say, I would be really frustrated if I was a teammate of Breuer. He's got all the ability, all the physical prowess, but he gets himself into positions where you think, what game are you watching on occasion, you know?
What is it specifically that he's doing wrong?
Well, it's the reading of the game. What does your teammate need from you? I think he sees the game in his own world. You know, I want to come short and receive the ball, where his teammate is crying out for a running behind, and vice versa on occasion, Jim.
Aslani's going to take a free kick for Albania. It's a couple of yards in from the left-hand touchline. The Albanians have got 5 in and around the edge of the penalty area. Jimshiti Ford makes a 6. In it comes from Aslani, really deep, and not what they needed in that situation. Just one that it teased inside the penalty area for someone to attack. He's overhit it, taking everybody out of the picture. And it hits the hoardings behind the goal on the full. Rolls out of play for a goal kick, and we're in the 88th minute.
Yeah, that free kick probably sums up what we're talking about. That final ball into the box is, on that occasion, so far overhit, it was incredible.
David Raya's going to take a goal kick. Hits it, right-footed, from the edge of the 6-yard box. Sends it forward. There'll be an awful lot of stoppage time to be added on here. 3 minutes, maybe 4. Yellow card is shown to Berisha as he has leant over Lopez. Now an Albanian fan has run onto the field. Stewart's chasing after him. And to be fair, he's got a good turn of pace. He's got past 2 or 3 stewards and a 4th. And is he going to make it into the Albanian dugout? I just don't understand. Don't understand the idiocy of supporters. And it didn't go down well amongst the Albanian players on the bench.
And he's a child. Literally, we're talking a kid who's probably looking about, 11, 12 years old. You've got to ask the question, where are the parents?
Well, he's being led away. He won't be watching the final moments of this. Officials are happy that play can continue. We are in the 90th minute. Free kick. Taken down towards the right-hand side for Lamine Yamal. Yamal trying to make his way through. Couldn't do so. He's blocked and stopped, and Ramadani is in there. Goes out of play for a throw, which will be taken by Spain. Croatia still leading 1-0. That means that Albania need 2 here in 30 seconds plus stoppage time. Navas working it forward. Breuer turning, getting away. Good strength from him that time. Pulled to the ground. Vivian yellow carded, and a free kick to Albania on halfway. But if there is going to be a way back, they surely have to get the equaliser from this.
Yeah, they certainly will. And to be quite honest with you, there was probably 2 Spanish players that could have been booked there for mauling Breuer.
4 minutes of added time to be played here. Just about to go into stoppage time in the other game between Croatia and Italy, and they're going to be playing 8 minutes there. So Breuer on the left-hand side from the free kick, which was worked short. Hodja couldn't find a way past Lamar. Yamal defending well, and now it goes down the left-hand side. He might have been able to find a way past Limal, but that's a different story. Couldn't find a way past Yamal. Ball inside the box. It's a slip of the tongue, I apologise. Ball inside the box, cleared. Out of the far touchline. Spain trying to bring it forward on the counter-attack. The referee has spotted an infringement, and he's given a free kick to Albania in Spanish territory.
Now, they're going to have to load the box up now, the Albanians, and more importantly, they're going to have to deliver something that's going to be very effective in regard to a cross, because a couple of free kicks that we've seen from wide areas have been so poor.
Free kick has been spotted down a couple of yards in from the right-hand touchline. The one man in the Spanish wall isn't 10 yards away. Free kick comes in, it's nodded down, Ayeti, can he turn? Poke towards goal. Saved by the diving Raya. And Breuer has got his bearded face in his hands because he knows that was the chance they had to take. A sharp one for him on the turn, dug his right foot around it, flicked it with the outside of his boot, scooped but not with the power he needed. And Raya could make the save, and that will probably knock Albania out.
Much better, I've got to say, in regard to the ball in the box, and when it landed, an embarrassment of riches. Players in and around the ball, and Breuer done well to dig it out, but Raya magnificently agile.
2 minutes of stoppage time to go. Albania lose, they are definitely out, irrespective of what happens in that Croatia-Italy game. The Croatians still winning that. They've got 6 minutes of added time to go over on TalkSport. Yellow cards being flashed every minute or so in that game. Albania coming forward again. Breuer waiting in the penalty area. If they can get the ball across to him, they might be able to do so. Not quite. Grimaldo, who's tiring, not only blocked the cross, he then stopped it going out of play for a corner. Spain will bring it forward. They have a counter-attack themselves now. 3 against 3, 4 against 3. Poor touch. Jimshidi winning it back. Albania will get it forward again. One more chance for them. Hodja down to the left-hand side of the penalty area. Chance to deliver from Mucci. Good turn on the edge of the box from Aslani. Has to come out again, but he's confined. Hodja onto his right foot, and Yamal came back and nicked it off his toes. And Spain are going to be able to bring it away. Now we're in the final of the 4 additional minutes. Hodja winning it back. Now works it back to the edge of his own penalty area. Forward, Albania will come. Will they be able to salvage a positive result here against Spain? It will be immensely creditable if they can, but it's going to happen right at the end of the game. Scored in the 4th minute of stoppage time to salvage a draw with Croatia. Can they do it against Spain here? Breuer taking it on, nicked away from him by Zubimendi. He then loses out. Right-hand side of the penalty area for Albania. Ball worked all the way through. Ramadani's cross comes shot drift wide. And by the time David Raya takes the goal kick, we'll be right at the end of the game.
Yeah, they've had 3 or 4 brilliant opportunities to really hurt the Spaniards, but they found the wrong pass every time, and too many players just want to pull away from the box and receive the ball instead of just making that run into the box, just leaving one on the edge.
Well, a couple of Spanish players have gone down with cramp. They have been attended to. David Raya with his massive right hand just picks up the ball in that one hand, spots it down on the edge of the 6-yard box, and his goal kick might just be the last kick of the night. Forward he comes, addresses the ball, and that is the end of the game. It's the end of Albania's European Championship campaign. They finished bottom of the group with just 1 point from their 3 matches, but acquitted themselves really well. A draw with Croatia and a 1-goal defeat against both Italy and Spain. That, after the draw that they had, constitutes success, albeit not with a capital S. They finished bottom, unable to make it through to the knockout stages of a major tournament for the first time. And now all eyes will be on what happens in the remaining minutes of stoppage time in Leipzig, where Croatia still lead Italy by a 1-0. Italy know at the very least they're going to come third, but it's just whether they can turn it around. Spain, though, Stuart, 3 out of 3 for them. Played 3, won 3, and it's the first time that they've ended a group stage in a European Championship with a 100% record since 2008. Decent job's work for them over the last 10 days.
Yeah, good performance from a second-string Spanish side. After an early foray by the Albanians, they wrestled momentum, dominated most of the momentum. Got to say to the Albanians, credit to them, they forced their way back in the game for the last 15-20 minutes or so, but couldn't find the pass to break the deadlock and really force an exciting finish to the game, and probably the Spaniards deserve to win.
Well, we're still waiting for the final whistle in the other game, which, just to reiterate the situation as things stand, Croatia will finish second in the group and they will book a tie with Switzerland. Italy will be hoping that their record will see them through. 3 points from 3 games should be enough, with a goal difference of 0, to have one of the best records of the third place teams. Spain players come across and take the applause of their support away, behind the goal, away to our left-hand side. The Albanians do likewise, and it is big support from every Albanian fan who has stayed in here. Will be immensely proud of what their team, ranked 66 in the world, have achieved, albeit that it is a premature elimination. Let's take a look now at the King performance, thanks to Burger King.
King Performance on TalkSport 2 with Burger King. Bring home the ultimate food satisfaction with the Gourmet King's Barbecue Steakhouse Angus. Order your Burger King delivery now.
Well, I think it's fair to say it was a night where there wasn't one or two particularly individual standout performances. Stuart, who are you going to go for your man of the match?
I think Torres. I think he was the one that broke the deadlock. He was the one that found the run and the finish. And I've got to say, it was a wonderful finish as well. And where a night of football went by where, certainly in an Albanian shirt, no one could find that finish or final ball, on this occasion it was absolutely it was that finish that split the two sides.
So Ferran Torres, the Burger King performance, that was our King performance pick in association with Burger King.
King Performance on TalkSport 2 with Burger King. Bring home the ultimate food satisfaction with the Gourmet King's Barbecue Steakhouse Angus. Order your Burger King delivery now.
The latest of dramas in Leipzig. In Croatia's last game, you'll remember, they conceded an equaliser in the 4th minute of stoppage time to Albania. Tonight, they've conceded in the 8th minute of stoppage time to Mattia Zaccagni of Italy, and that might end up knocking them out. Italy are going to finish second in the group. A right-footed swept drive from the edge of the penalty area into the top right-hand corner past Livakovic, and Italy, right at the death, are going to finish second, having equalised.
I think that's the beauty of this third place jeopardy. The last group games, there's twists, there's turns, and the Italians, wow, they're absolutely delighted.
I mean, there is barely time for Croatia to kick off. There is no time for them to take a second touch after the kick-off, and they slump to the floor in devastation. The Italian players, Calafiori down, he's in tears as well, lying on his back at the extreme emotion of getting away with it after a poor Italian performance, but they've equalised right at the end. They finish second in the group after a 1-1 draw tonight in that game in Leipzig. So a draw there and a Spanish win here. Spain 9, Italy 4, Croatia 2, Albania 1. Spain win the group, will play one of the teams that finished third, quite possibly the team that finished third in Group E. Italy finished second in this group, they will play Switzerland. Croatia finished third, but with 2 points and a goal difference of -3, they may well miss out. Albania are eliminated, and those results mean that France, the Netherlands and England all mathematically certain to make it through to the knockout stages ahead of their final games. Over on TalkSport, the Euro Sports Bar with Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy set to get underway as they take your calls on all of this evening's action. 03717 223344 is the number to dial. You can also send us a voice note on WhatsApp to that very same number, 03717 223344. Stu, enjoyed your company as always. I'll see you tomorrow in Cologne for England against Slovenia. Build up at 7 for an 8 o'clock kickoff. Coming up next on TalkSport 2, we've got a commentary special for you with It's Up for Grabs.
Official broadcaster of UEFA Euro 2024, Germany.
Brilliant goal!
This is TalkSport 2.
Euro Game Day Live, delivered by TalkSport 2 with Burger King, official providers of food fulfillment. That warm, fuzzy feeling of total food satisfaction. Order your Burger King delivery now.
When Andre sold his car on finance with Motorway, he got more money. Ooh! He then put that extra money into tickets to follow his team around the country.
Come on, lads!
Selling on Motorway was completely stress-free, which is more than I can say about being a supporter of Yes! Sell your car the more money way, where 84% of sellers sold for more. Motorway. Validated against 2 independent sources. Visit motorway.co.uk/claims.
I need to get snacks. I need to get drinks. Should have done this beforehand. I need to get treats. Gotta find a BP. Gotta find a BP. Oh, my mates say won't like me. Gotta find a... Oh, there it is.
BP is here for all your big game essentials. Plus, BP Me Rewards members can earn points to put towards great saves.
Adam in the car 1, hungry mates, nil.
BP, here for all of life's journeys. BP Me Rewards card or app required. For full T's and C's, visit bpmerewards.co.uk.
Let's go live to hear about that winning goal.
The crowd's gone absolutely wild here. How on earth do you sum up your emotions right now?
Amazing. A hat-trick is just the best feeling ever.
Is it though? Is kicking a ball into the back of the net really better than food fulfillment from Burger King? That warm, fuzzy feeling of total food satisfaction, like finishing the last bite of a Gourmet King's Barbecue Steakhouse Angus.
No.
Correct. Burger King. That's food fulfillment.
Get match ready with club card prices. Like Pringles 185 grams, now £1.45, down from £2.25. With Tesco Club Card, everyone can feel the to lower prices. Tesco, every little helps. Majority of larger stores end 16th of July. Club card or app required.
Strength comes from confidence, both on and off the pitch. And confidence starts with self-care. Upgrade your game with Dove Men Plus Care Advanced 72-hour sweat protection antiperspirant deodorant and Dove Men Plus Care 24-hour nourishing body wash. Perfect for your post-match shower. Now available in new eucalyptus and mint long-lasting fresh fragrance. Let confidence last with Dove Men Plus Care. Proud partners of UEFA Euro 2024 Germany.
I tell you what, Jeff, it's been some journey, but here they are, just moments away from the whistle.
Absolutely, there's been twists, there's been turns, not to mention that parking of the bus. But as the clock runs down, I think they're going to make it.
It goes to show that you can really handle the pressure when your tyres are performing.
I'm home. Has the game started yet?
Top performance.
Driving home for the match? Keep your tyres in peak condition. Book today at quickfit.com or your local centre. Quickfit. Drive away happy every time.
Euro Game Day Live on TalkSport 2 with Carly, the UK's #1 lager. 18 plus, always drink responsibly.
Official broadcaster of UEFA Euro 2024 Germany.
It's game on.
This is TalkSport 2.
UEFA Euro 2024 Germany.
Tomorrow night from 8. England versus Slovenia
on TalkSport.
Chance for a goal! It's there!
And Denmark versus Serbia
on TalkSport 2.
Kick off 8 p.m.
Back of the net.
On DAB+, online, via the TalkSport app, and on your smart speaker.
This is TalkSport 2.
When I wake up in the morning, it's rarely in my own bed. My first thought is, where am I going today? The Emirates, Old Trafford, Goodison, Wembley? The second thought is, what time is my train? Or what plane have I got to catch? Or when do I need to leave and get in the car? And the third thought is usually, how lucky am I? Hello, I'm Sam Matterface, and over the next 2 hours I'll try and give you the insight into a world of football commentary by speaking to some of the biggest names and the emerging mic handlers, finding out about their routines and dedication to a profession that has been my dream since I can remember. What started it? Well, being banned from watching television for fighting with my little brother and being forced to listen to the radio instead. Brian Butler and Peter Jones commentating as England beat Yugoslavia by 4-0 in a World Cup qualifier. What happened that made it the only possible career grabs now with me, Sam Matterface, as we celebrate the art, the craft and the quirks of football commentary. I sat down for lunch with two of the legends of the commentary box in John Motson and Clive Tilsley, and we talked about the game we love, but also the part that they and others had played in providing the soundtrack to the nation's favourite sport.
So, I suppose the first thing is it never ends anymore, does it? But how do you categorise a season nowadays? And do you sort of chalk them off still as seasons?
I think our seasons are over, aren't they, John? I think our seasons ended about 8 years ago.
Yes, I mean, absolutely. I mean, I regard the end of my season really as the last match of the day commentary that I do. Now, obviously, I watch the playoffs and the FA Cup final and the England games. I mean, speaking as a football fan rather than as a commentator, I believe actually that we're in a period, and we can discuss this probably at greater length later, we're in a little bit of a period of overkill. With respect to Clive, I'm not so sure that fans who've had a 10-month season necessarily want to sit down and watch the whole of the England under-21 tournament or indeed the Confederations Cup. I think we've got to start to categorise the events that make people want to watch, and then I'm a great believer in that the summer should at least make a concession to cricket and racing and tennis, but as Chris Bascom in Telegraph Sport wrote, the football season never ends now.
No.
So the answer to your question is our season, as Clive says, might end, well, his hasn't yet, but mine has, might end when the Premier League hold up the trophy. But to be honest, it only seems 5 minutes before the Premier League clubs are going back training.
I think Mr Murdoch himself is quoted as saying at the start of the Sky Sports era, there are 3 TV sports in the UK, football, and football.
Yeah.
There are some major exceptions, the Grand National, the Olympic Games, a Murray final. You will get into the 10s and 12s and 14 millions, but the only thing that will actually sit the family down together to watch a sporting event on terrestrial television in the numbers that used to watch on terrestrial television is an England World Cup or European Championship finals.
Absolutely, and my fear about that is the next generation, because I think there's so much football on now that I don't think people of my son's age have got the patience to sit down and watch a 90-minute match necessarily anymore. I mean, they can get the goals on their mobiles and their tablets. And I know the Premier League, for example, that's the thing that worries them most about the future is gaming, because that's what the kids are doing. And I think that won't come to pass for another few years, actually, that fear. But I don't think the next generation, with all that's at their fingertips, will have the patience necessarily to sit down and I mean, all right, if England are in the World Cup quarter-final, of course they will. But I think a routine Monday night Premier League game, for example, for some people it's just an irrelevance. You know, they've had football all day Saturday and Sunday. I don't think they really need another match on Monday night.
We've got 3 boys between 21 and 24, and they will get as excited about the outcome of a match they're playing on FIFA as they will a real football match.
That's gently what I'm saying, yeah.
Is that because you're commentating on that?
Those were the days. That is a weird feeling, by the way, hearing your voice rattle around your own household when your son is playing. John used to do FIFA.
Well, I tell you what, I'm amazed still. More parents come up to me and say, your voice is in our house. Now, I haven't done FIFA for about 8. I did the first 10 years of FIFA from the day it started. I don't think I've done it for 6 or 7 years. But I get more parents talking to me about my voice on FIFA than ever mention Match of the Day or Radio 5 or anything. That is a great example of what we're talking about as to what the generation...
Well, it's a different way of consuming football now, isn't it? And we'll come on to that in greater detail. But I want to just take you back to talking about you said about the England World Cup games and the audiences that you get. Both of you have been responsible for massive moments in English history in terms of the football. And being associated with those huge moments. You know that you can do a game on a weekly basis, which may well get seen by 2 or 3 million people. But when it comes to that big international World Cup quarter-final, semi-final, whatever it is, you know that the nation is stopping still.
Yeah.
And they're focusing on your words as well as the football, but you're penetrating into 20 million homes. Does that change what you do?
No, not really. I don't think it really hit me until after the 2 big England quarter and semi-finals I did in 1990 in Turin. The BBC audience was supposed to be 23, 24 million. I haven't got the figures in front of me. And nearly that much for the quarter-final in Gelsenkirchen in 2006. But I think, I don't know whether Clive would... I think you're so busy concentrating on what you're doing. I mean, it's probably a bit silly to say it's like any other game. Of course it isn't. But you still have to put the same preparation and background into your work. And I think if you're focused, you probably, the last thing you think about when you go on the air is, 24 million people are watching this. I don't think you do. I think you just get into a zone where you do the job that you're there to do and always have done in a certain way. I mean, afterwards, once or twice in recent years, people have said to me, the audience for that was 20-something million. But at the time, I don't think I did anything very different.
Do you ever get nervous?
I think it sharpens the mind. I think probably that level of audience arrived suitably later in my career, that I felt assured in my routines and my preparations that I could still deliver the commentary that I'd been hired to do, irrespective of the number. That actually, in motivation terms, the bigger problem is doing a smaller game, which is being watched by less than 1 million people. In motivation terms, once you are aware of the scale of the audience, as I say, I think it focuses the mind. A couple of observations I'd make. One, I don't think it does change your commentary. I think you're absolutely right, John. But I think in a way it should, because you are now commentating to Auntie Nellie and Uncle Ernie, who are watching 4 football matches a season. And my greatest mentor, and John has been a mentor, John has helped me a great deal in my career, but my greatest mentor was the late Reg Guttridge. He always drilled into me, know your audience. Don't commentate to the England manager, commentate to your grandma, because she counts one viewer. Don't commentate to the dressing room, commentate to White Van Man, commentate to the public.
But that's the very nature of what we do. We all work for terrestrial TV broadcasters.
Yeah. And when the audience is 15, 20 million, there is an argument for explaining the offside law at some stage during that game, because we've all been in that maths class when we were at school where we got half an hour in and we're sat at the back and we're thinking to ourselves, I haven't understood a word of this. I watch a Grand Prix, for instance, an F1 Grand Prix, and I feel for the commentator, because on the one hand he's got to commentate to the petrol heads who know it all, but on the other hand I can watch for about 20 seconds and it's just like a well-thrown frisbee flying over my head. I have no idea what they're talking about. How do you commentate to everybody, which is what you've had to do, John?
Well, yeah, and also I think what happened to me was, after doing Turin in 1990, somebody somewhere said to me, you didn't quite realise what it was like for those of us at home. And I always had that in the back of my mind. And then when I went to Japan in 2002, and the kickoff times here were like 7 in the morning. Yeah. And I kind of thought, well, I've really got to be aware now that people are putting the breakfast on or getting up or whatever. And I made a few cracks, which were pretty corny, I must admit, breakfast with Batistuta and rubbish like that. And one of my bosses said it wasn't necessary and told me he thought I was being flippant. And then I had letters from ladies when I got home saying I was just putting the eggs on when you called that goal.
Michael Owen and England sizzling in the heat of Shizuoka. And after this, the sausages will be sizzling back home, I should think.
So probably what that says is you can't please everybody.
No. It's subjective as well, isn't it? Some people like what you do, some people don't like what you do. You have to get used to that.
Yeah, the other big change with working with that size of audience is you are now working with an interactive audience. And it's easy to sit here and say, I ignore Twitter. And Twitter isn't a democracy. Twitter isn't a well-researched
John's definitely on Twitter, aren't you, John?
Definitely not. And not likely to be.
But what you are on is you'll read the newspapers, and probably during your career, certainly throughout my career, those Monday morning reviews of our work by people who've never done it before.
Absolutely.
People with wonderful vocabularies, people who've had 24 hours to sit down and find that line, which we said off the top of our heads in the course of 90 minutes. It gets more difficult, and it's become more difficult to justify your own view of your way of working in the light of immense hurtful personal criticism of you as a person, not as you as a
person, your life, everything gets.
I remember the early
it.
cup finals I did when the cup final was the only live. Well, it was England-Scotland as well, but it was the only major live game on television that people sat down all day because it was the cup final, which we all know it isn't anymore. However, Clive's got it spot on, because I used to dread the Monday morning papers because everybody's TV column was about the cup final coverage. And as you rightly say, a lot of them have never been anywhere near a football commentary in their lives. But, you know, and they would pick the most obscure thing that you'd said, you know, and that would be their criticism. And you'd think, well, hang on a minute, there were 3 hours I was on the air that day, and the other 2 hours, 59 minutes.
And make a value judgment of you, that you're arrogant or
Yeah.
patronising. Oh, wait a minute, you don't know me. I'm not very active on Twitter because I question its value. I liked its value when I had a small following. I liked the idea of being able to interact with people who had a genuine interest in how sports broadcasting was developing. And, you know, my interest in sports broadcasting started really by listening to people like you, and I would make a value judgment of you as a broadcaster because I felt, that's exactly how I want it to be. That's how I want to broadcast. You're on the same wavelength as me. And it was great when I met you, when I was a local radio reporter and you were a TV commentator, and you were as serious about what you did as I wanted you to be, you know, to care about it as much as you do. And that care, that enthusiasm still it flows out of you. Your excitement at seeing a goal at St Mary's is as great as it was when you watched a goal in wherever, in you know, at a World Cup finals in Germany.
Is that why we get into it? Because essentially we love it. We love the game. We love seeing it. We love being a part of it.
Yeah, I don't think you could do it if you didn't. I think you've got to have that gut feeling that it's something that you want to enthuse about, and it's something that you're there to reflect. I mean, that is probably one of the things about commentary. When people say, you know, what's your real job when you're there? Well, obviously there is some quite clear answers to that, identifying the players. But I think trying to reflect the atmosphere of the game and the occasion is very important, because after all, the people you're talking to aren't there. They're only there through you and your voice and the pictures, obviously, that goes without saying. But I mean, I do believe that your own sort of enjoyment of the game, and whatever other word you want to use, I'm quite certain that if you're doing your job properly, that has to come through.
Absolutely. You'll never meet a commentator who said, well, actually, I wanted to be a train driver, but I couldn't work the controls, so I finished. You will never meet a commentator who ever wanted to be anything other than a commentator.
Gravison forward. Rooney, instant control. Fancies his chances. Oh, brilliant goal! A brilliant goal! Remember the name, Wayne Rooney.
Official broadcaster of UEFA Euro 2024, Germany.
Brilliant goal!
This is TalkSport 2.
Hear the biggest sports stories first and fast with the Back Page Review on TalkSport with Tesco Mobile for Business. Listen to TalkSport Breakfast every weekday morning from 6 for the latest breaking Back Page news, plus unbeatable reaction, opinion and comment. The Back Page Review on TalkSport with Tesco Mobile for Business. Join Tesco Mobile and get business phone bills for up to 40% less than the big mobile networks. Tesco Mobile, every little helps. For applicable terms and verification, see tescomobile.com/business.
If you've bought a timeshare, did you really get what you expected? Or were you sold a dream that's now a nightmare? With high maintenance fees, loss of exclusivity, and limited availability, timeshare ownership for many is now just a liability. MyTimeshareClaim.co.uk has helped thousands of owners who are missold exit their contract and receive compensation. For advice and to find out more about your options, text timeshare to 78900.
By recommending beautiful designer radiators at bestheating.com, you'll have happy, warm customers. You also get cold, hard cash. Yep, you heard. All you have to do is refer your customers to bestheating.com and we'll give you a percentage of the sale in actual cold, hard cash. Plus, your customer gets 10% off too, so everyone is a winner. Visit bestheating.com/trade to refer your customers and start making money today.
Why do I race for life? For my biggest cheerleader, the best strawberry pancake maker, my fave hair braider and matching PJ buddy. The most forgetful person I know, but the one who makes me feel so happy and calm. She ran with me in her tummy, with me in the pushchair, and now with me by her side. My mum's name is Crystal, and I'm racing for her.
No matter how cancer affects us, life is worth racing for. Sign up to your local event at raceforlife.org in partnership with headline sponsor Standard Life.
It's the event we've all been waiting for. The 30-metre vacuum is on! He's really ramping up the power. Straight around the first corner, overtaking Pepper. Oh no! He's hit a hurdle. It must be a coin. Great recovery, and now he's on the home straight. This could be a personal best, and he's done it. Incredible scenes. He really has cleaned up.
British Gas, powering home fans during this summer of sport.
This tournament, prepare for greatness with William Hill. Get ready for last-minute winners, legendary goals, and straight red cards. Oh, what was he thinking? Win 50% more on every England game this tournament with Bet Builder Extra, online or in the app, only from William Hill. Available day before match to kick-off. Bet Builders are 3+ selections at 3-1 or more. Pre-match singles, match stake £20. Full T's and C's apply. 18+, begambleaware.org.
H.W. Neville's bread. Price matched at only 45p for an 800-gram loaf at Tesco. Makes for a delicious cheese toastie. And comes with the classic, too hot, but can't resist, mouth-wafting dance routine. That's true value. Tesco. Every little helps. Serving suggestions price match 3rd of the 6th. Pro rata versus GBLD. Check twice weekly. Excludes promo. Selected stores. Excludes Express and Northern Ireland. Details tesco.com/Aldi price match.
PGA Tour. Rocket Mortgage Classic. Live on TalkSport 2. Thursday night from 6. As the world's golfing elite go head-to-head at the Detroit Golf Club. Hear full swing-by-pitch-by-putt commentary of all the action direct from Detroit, Michigan. PGA Tour. Rocket Mortgage Classic. Thursday night from 6. Live on TalkSport 2.
This is TalkSport 2.
This is a game that people will refer to as maybe the moment when the Premier League started to belong to Manchester City, and they come through again with Silva. Dzeko against the goalkeeper. Dzeko drives it beyond David De Gea, and they score 6. Manchester City score 6 at Old Trafford.
You're listening to me, Sam Matterface, in conversation with John Motson and Clive Tilsley, two titans of sports broadcasting.